Good morning. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Welcome, 13th Jurors. I am so glad you're here. It is going to be a good day. I'm manifesting it. There's going to be no fighting over cell phones. There's going to be no, well, I won't say no sidebars. There will be less than 3 sidebars, 3 or less sidebars. I'm manifesting it. Putting it out there. It's going to be a good day. Raise your hand if you believe that there's really going to be 3 or less sidebars. No? Nobody? Yeah, me neither. But that's okay. We're manifesting it anyway. We're putting out the good energy in the world. Hello. Come in, take your seats. As always, we have our first in the tailgate that we have to recognize. Everybody's like, no, there's not going to be. You can keep dreaming. There will be more than 3 sidebars, but that's okay. We are, we're still gonna have fun during the sidebars. Maybe there'll be less fighting over cell phones. We can manifest it. We're manifesting it. Okay, so our first in the tailgate. Let's celebrate you. Why is it doing this? Okay, every time I try to do it. This is what, here, we're just gonna, here. Jess Dawson is our first, I don't know why it's doing it. We're manifesting good stuff, and you can only do so much good stuff at once. So this isn't working, but that just means that we are more likely to have fewer sidebars. Jess Dawson was first in the tailgate. Congratulations. Here is your fancy throne. Millie Williams was second, and you get a lovely rocking chair. And Teresa Holland, you were third, and you get this fantastic beanbag love sack thing, which is honestly the most comfortable of the 3. I don't know why the video is not working, but we're going to just go with it. So I have I have faith that today is going to be not filled with, hopefully, not filled with a bunch of craziness and sidebars. We're going to see. We're manifesting it. I have to find, I have some papers pulled up. That we have as well. Let's see. Why can't I find it? Let's see. Pull it over here on the screen so I can actually see what I'm doing. I have some of the for stuff for us to look at during the sidebars and stuff. I've got some of the court papers pulled up that we can go with. Let's see. My phone's already ringing. It is 7:50 in the morning here. How is the phone ringing? Okay. I pulled some of the some of the documents and stuff like that and I have them pulled up and ready to go so that we can see what we can go through. Why am I having trouble on my computer right now? Lucy's laying on my lap and I think she has gas. Yeah, you're bad, Luce. You're bad. Yes, I had a wonderful break over the weekend. I actually did not do any work for 2 full days, and it was fantastic. It was so needed. Let's see. There's also a tweet. Why am I having trouble? There is also a tweet that I had posted. I don't know if y'all saw it, but the masked undercover, Melly's little brother made that picture his like profile picture or whatever on Instagram, I think it was, and where they say his name, Danny Polo, where Danny Polo is doing where he was demonstrating the sign for Bloods. He made that his profile picture. So I saw that and I was like, I stayed off my computer for the most part for a couple days. And I was like, it was a much needed break. And then I get back on and the first thing I saw was that. And I was like, the shenanigans is already starting again. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Because I tweeted it somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is YNW B slime. This is his a screenshot of his Instagram, and that is of course the masked Danny Polo. So interesting. Yeah, I don't think that the stuff was allowed in, or the cameras and stuff were allowed in court either. But I think that he had also testified in some other trials, and from what I understand, and I could be wrong, but from what I understand, the picture that he posted was from one of the other trials, not from this one. But I could, like I said, I did not investigate this. I could be totally wrong. So if I'm wrong, I'm just throwing that out there. Anytime I don't know something for sure, I try to make sure that y'all know this is not something I've investigated at all. So, all right. So while we're waiting on I don't think it's his real name either. And I'm not sure about that for sure, but I don't think that's his real name either. But I do know that that's the name that he goes by, like his deposition and stuff, actually, which is one of the ones I pulled. But his deposition and stuff like that is also done under that name. But I don't believe it's his real name from what I've heard. But again, one of those things I have not investigated. I do know that it's on his deposition, but from what I understand, it's his undercover name. Let's see some of the other stuff. Oh, do we have? Oh no, I thought they were coming. On. Oh, we still have a few minutes. They won't be on. They are having court. It's just they don't start until 9, but 9 for them, we've seen how that goes. Also, if y'all were not at night court last night, let me go ahead and address this. If y'all were not at night court last night, the 2 days off that I had that were so fantastic, I got to spend some time in the sun, which was amazing. I'm already getting old anyway, so I try to protect my face as much as I can because I'm out in the sun, anyway. Normally, when I'm not stuck here in court, I'm either, walking loosey or out on the beach or by the pool or, something. So I try to protect my face as much as possible. And I had on a visor. So you can see this red line right here where I got sunburnt from where I had a visor on to protect my face, and I got burnt from here up. So you can see this lovely red line. It looks like I have on a it looks like a scalp burn type, which actually my scalp did get burnt. I'm sunburnt up here on my scalp where I had my hair braided, and I had it in like 2 braids going this way, and so I have red right here, which is lovely, and I have red going down my part right here, so my headphones are hitting it, and that feels amazing. So if y'all see that, I don't know how much y'all can see on the camera, but if y'all can see this, that's what happened. I thought it was contour. No, I don't wear face makeup, but if I did, oh, that's what I should just like start putting when I go out. I can put the like the sunscreen or whatever just on the spots where you're supposed to be light. I have to look it up because I don't know how. I don't do any of that stuff, the contouring stuff and all that, but it's Florida, y'all. We sweat it off. If even if I did it anyway, I would sweat it all off like immediately. So I don't do a lot of the makeup stuff, but maybe that would be a way to get around it. So then if I did that, I wouldn't have to actually put makeup on. I could just contour in the areas where it's supposed to be light. It could work. All right, while we're waiting on them, let me see. Keep this over here. Let's see what some of the court documents that I found that we can look at while we're still waiting on this. Waiting on them to catch up with us. So we've had our coffee and we're ready, and they apparently are not. All right, let's see. Thank you. I slept with it in braids. So sleeping with it in braids makes it do like this cool thing to make it look like I spent time on it. Okay, let's see. So we talked about, we'll just flip through some of this stuff while we're waiting on them to get started in court. So we talked a little bit about some of the papers. These are the, this is the papers for Felicia Holmes. So the remember what they said, they arrested her in the Virgin Islands and stuff. So this is like 15 pages of all of her information where they arrested her. Now, one of the things too that they had mentioned was that that remember she said that she never got served, that they were lying, and all of that. Well, there's the papers that she had the subpoena left on her door. So she was right about how they did not physically serve her with it. However, when I was pulling all the court documents and stuff, there is some back and forth between her attorney and the DA. So while she said that she was never served, she said, you never served me, that was a lie. Technically, she was never handed the paper, but there is correspondence with her attorney that she knew about it and that he was working on, I guess, arranging stuff for the deposition and stuff. So take that for what you will. She just didn't want to talk. I think she made that pretty clear to all of us that she didn't want to talk. So they arrested her in the Virgin Islands. Let's see. This is just kind of going over the reason for them. Her presence will be required before circuit court in Broward County until she has completed her testimony thereafter, unless otherwise ordered by the court. So they put out a warrant for her because she wouldn't show up for her deposition. So that's basically what all of this is. Now, let me see if they have the papers in here about her trying to board the plane with a fake ID. I gotta remember where I saw that. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. Felicia Holmes attempted to board a plane to travel from St. Thomas to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, under the name of Shantae Smith, using as identification a Georgia driver's license in the name of Shantae Colette Smith. So that's not her name. She was arrested. Let's see. I have an active uniform. She's a material witness needed in Broward County. Efforts by law enforcement to secure the voluntary cooperation of Felicia Holmes through her legal counsel have been met with resistance and have been unsuccessful. So that's when they say through her legal counsel, that's the emails back and forth between her attorney and the district attorney, Miss Bradley, and that's all documented in the court papers too. But so they do go back and forth. So she was getting on a plane under a fake name using a fake ID. The use of another name and identification to travel between Florida and St. Thomas evidences an intent to evade detection by law enforcement seeking her attendance and testimony. Based upon Felicia Holmes' failure to cooperate as a witness and her efforts to avoid detection by law enforcement, this court finds that the witness will not obey a summons to appear. Status conference is scheduled. Let's see. So this is and then there's her mugshot. She's not looking happy. And then, of course, the rest is just kind of her information, arrest information, all that good stuff. Let's see. Female. That's her real information. Felicia Holmes. I was trying to see if they had and then her extradition papers. So, that's the real story. So when she got on the stand and she said, that you never served me, and that was a lie. And I got arrested because she basically made it sound like, y'all arrested me and I had to quit my job because y'all arrested. Well, first she said they fired her, but then she came back and said that they did not fire her, that she had to leave her job because she got arrested. So that is only a small part of the story. So this is the rest of the story. Let's see. I pulled some other ones too while we're waiting. I've got YouTube pulled up so we can see when they come up. But let's see what else we have. There's Danny Polo. Detective Moretti. Who else we got? Who seems like the most interesting to go over this morning while we're waiting? Having to move around stuff on my screen so I can make sure that we don't miss any of court. We can jump right in. Let's see. I have that one's Ashley Phillips. Oh, this one was embarrassing. This one, the attorney for Portland did not know his name, and the DA, Bradley, actually, she corrected him and said, your client's name is Cortland Henry. I was calling him the wrong name. She said, here it is. She said, Cortland Henry is your client's name. Fred, you said Carlton. His name is Cortland. And you said Cortland Henry. I'm thinking of someone else. Let's see what other ones we have. That one, and then we have, let's see. Janet Thompson. So Janet Thompson is oh, where'd it go? Let me pull this over so I can keep an eye out. Oh.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're starting.
See if Chuck.
I don't think it's cold enough in here, Judge.
When did you start?
Why should today be different than any other day?
Called on Friday, told them that you complained about on Thursday it was a little too warm in here. They said they were going to adjust it accordingly.
I appreciate that.
It's used to it, the things.
There's no happy medium in life.
Could we approach off the record?
Sure. So once that screen is next.
Well, that was fun while it lasted. I pulled all these up because, they have so many breaks and stuff. So we can kind of just look at some stuff while any of the times that they're on their little break. And we're on. Is Marie in here? We have our, she's our like official sidebar and objection counter. Yeah, actually, I've got to learn how to use it. I plan on trying to learn how to use it, hopefully this week. But one of the Stream Deck things, so we can have some of our sound effects and stuff. So we'll find some circus music. Oh, let's see. Sydney says, I am not ready for squats yet, y'all. I don't blame you. Jackie's on top of it. She said, I've already did 20 squats this morning. Judge, off the record, we are only going to object 32 times and 15 sidebars today. That's all. 15. That's all. Yeah, my visor did not cover. I thought I had it pulled up all the way, but I was in the pool, so. Let's see. Oh, the one for Jana Thompson. Let's see. Let's see what all she says. I've read through this a while back, but I haven't read it since we've been going through trial days. Let's see. This is kind of one of the same things I've been saying. When somebody said that they'd missed a lot of the trial, I was like, if you listen to it, we're on day 8, but if you listen to it at 1.5 speed, you could catch up in a couple hours. Listen on 1.5 speed and skip through the sidebars and all of that, and you could catch up in a couple hours. Let's see. Jana Thompson's. So she says they ask how she's related to the case. She said my son is Anthony DeAndre Williams. They say my condolences. They ask her if she spoke to law enforcement in relation to the events concerning his death. And she said yes, that she spoke to Detective Moretti, who was the lead detective. She said, I spoke with a detective that was retiring. So at this time, I don't have his name, Bertrand, I believe. And we saw him, the one who said he was retiring. We saw him in what was that, like day 5-ish, I think. 4, 3, I don't know. It all runs together. Oh, are we back? Maybe for good this time. Good morning. Good morning. I see some of y'all are still filing in. Angie Burr, I agree. It's more time in sidebars and recess than anything else. It's crazy, isn't it? And you'd think it would be different since this has taken so long to get to this point. You know, this happened in 2018. He was arrested in early 2019. So you'd think some of this stuff would have been figured out by now. All right, let's see. Hello, hello. Welcome to y'all joining us. Hello, hello. I believe we still have more of the stuff from Danny Polo. I believe that some more of the phone stuff that's supposed to be coming in. All right, while we're waiting on them yet again, like always, congratulations, Real Boring Housewife, being a member with us for a month. We are glad to have you. That reminds me, I need to pull up my chat, pop out chat. Amanda Davis has been a member with us for 1 month. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. We're glad to have you. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Okay, I think I got all of the anniversary things. All right, let's see if I can. I'm trying to listen for a hot mic moment. Y'all know I'm nosy and I love a hot mic moment, but I'm not hearing any right now. I can barely hear their microphone on, but it doesn't sound like anybody's actually talking. Okay, so on the deposition, let's see what else. She said that the detective showed up for her son's funeral and the wake and has been communicating to her very closely, that he spoke to other family members, but she did not speak to him much. She says, after they left my son, oh my gosh, it literally never stops. It's oh my gosh, it drives me nuts. They recess again and then they start that loud music without warning, and it's right in my ear. All right, let's see. Yeah, me too. It's right in my ear when they start that. It's so loud. So loud. And I have like the noise canceling headphones, so it's like a direct shot of just. All right. Ridiculous. Alrighty, let's see. So after they left the son's funeral, it'd been some time before I heard from anyone. She said, I reached out to again that detective who was over the case, and he was leaving. His name was Hector Bertrand or something. I don't know. I called him Hector. He said that they found some information about the case. Let's see, that it was best for her to speak to a supervisor because he was leaving. So he gave me Mark's number. I contacted Mark, and the defense asked her about the date of her son's funeral and wake. She said My son, I got the news. My son, I'm going to tell you the truth. I was not in a good place at that time. And so my family, I probably wrote it down. My family stepped in and took care of everything for me. If I'm not mistaken, I believe my son was buried on November 3rd and his wake was November 2nd. Let's see. Her mother was in the room with her. Her mother's name is Terry Bagley. Let's see. They apologize for it being emotional. Let's see. They asked if she spoke with Detective Moretti before the wake. She said, no, I called the police station after speaking with Jamie, that's Melly's mom, because I'm still at this point trying to get confirmation, but I called the police station and please forgive me because at this particular day, I mean, I'm not doing good to remember something because like I say, my mind is completely, so forgive me. I'm not trying to give things that I don't know for sure. Okay, we're coming back. For now.
For preserve the record, we renew our objection to the witness testifying on the matter.
Judge, we're good. All right, bring it.
Bring the jury.
Jury entering.
Shireen gifted a membership. Thank you, Shireen. Thank you, thank you. Alley Cat was gifted a membership by Shireen.
Good morning. Let the record reflect the presence of the defendants as counsel. Please be seated. The assistant state attorney will go the jury and our witness, Danny Cole. Please have a seat, sir. I just want to remind you that you remain on your oath. All right?
Yes, sir.
So you all have a nice weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to pick up where we left off on Thursday. So, when I'm mistaken, I think you were still on your examination of this one.
That's correct.
Please proceed.
Thank you. You are the same Detective Danny Colo that was here last week?
Same one, different suit,
Okay. Same mask?
same mask.
Okay, we had left off on page 24, publishing what is been admitted into evidence as State 70. Okay, going on to, this is still the chat with the number that's saved in as Gino. So going now, I'm going to skip ahead to page 28. I want to make sure it's visible so everybody can read it. The name Goon, Goon,
Yes,
is that an individual you were able to identify?
yes.
And who is that?
So his name is Isaiah Eberhart. I don't think I'm pronouncing the last name correctly.
Okay, going down here. the message that is coming in from the ending in 9807 phone number. What in this particular message from September 29th of 2018 tells you that this is somehow affiliated with G-Shine or GKB?
The first indication that it's blood related would be taking out the letter C from creeping, putting a K, and then the second one would be the use of the term herc, which is a common to be used between members of GKB.
Okay.
To address themselves, address each other.
So going now to page 29 of State 70, and the message from Gino, contact on October 4th of 2018. With regards to this message, if you could please read it aloud for the jury.
You are truly talented, beloved. It's an honor to lead you. Thanks for the opportunity. I won't let you down.
Can you make any opinions or conclusions from that message about the relationship between the person identified as Gino and the person who's on the other side of the conversation ending in 9807?
Well, the first thing I want to note on this message is the word honor is in all caps. That's one of the it's one of the words associated to certain G-Shine blood symbols: honor, respect, loyalty. So the fact that Gino made that all caps is indicative of just showing more additional blood-related language. Gino's expressing to the 9807 number. I got that right, 9807?
Yes.
9807 number, that he's that person, the 9807 number, is a talented individual, and he appreciates the opportunity.
Can you say about the rankings or the hierarchy between the two?
Based on the previous messages, Gino is one of the subjects that was above the 9807 number. He was one of the subjects involved in recruiting the 9807 number.
Okay. The response from the 9807 number, is this again using those same codes that you previously talked about on Thursday?
Yes, he says always. He's just responding to the messages, and he calls him Herc, which is a common G-Shine, like saying bro or dude or something like that, or brother. PL stands for down low, which means I hear you, and SL is shine love.
Okay.
It's G-Shine, shine love. It's one of the terms they use.
Okay, going to the next message on page 29. And if you could read that one aloud for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Quando denied saying anything about you, Q or the hood.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the hood is normally used to refer to?
The hood would be the blood organization or G-Shine organization. Specifically here, he mentions that he didn't say anything about, or he denied saying anything about not just the hood, but Q. And Q would be Jaquan Burton. That's what he goes by, Q-Shine.
And so the last two messages from the 9807 number and then the response from Gino. A little bigger, sorry.
9807 said, ain't worried. And Gino, he's gonna get his day, mark my words.
So I'm going to go forward, page 30. The message of October 6, 2018 at 12:05 a.m. If you could read the one that is right there in the center of the screen.
All right, Gino states, I'm on the line with Tall Godfather, GF. He wants to sit down with you and Jay Green. Jay Green is Jalen Green of Mr. Denham's associates, who happens to be part of a different G-Shine set. Me and you me, you, Jay Green, and Kim.
Okay. Going down to that same page, the message on October 8th of 2018, 12:43 p.m. Can you read this message and then translate it, please?
To stay in tune is to communicate, bro. If you feel like it's too much, you can line up elsewhere, but you won't get the perks and respect you get now. The choice.
What does that translate to?
So based on context from the messages I read, the 9807 number wasn't checking in and communicating with members of Gino's lineup, Gino's set enough. And he's letting the 9807 number know that if it's too much for him, if he can't follow the rules and check in as it's required, then he can pick a different set, different blood set, different lineup. Specifically uses the word line up elsewhere, but he's saying their set has the most respect.
Okay, so going to page 31, I want to go to now the message from the 9807 phone number on October 23rd of 2018.
Just says beloved.
And then going on to October 24th of 2018 at 12:37 a.m. What does that message show?
The GKB or G-Shine, Gangsta Killer Blood, Oath.
Okay.
They go by many names, like I stated before.
Is this the same that was reflected in some of those emails that you had previously discussed?
I would have to go to the email, make sure it's word for word the same, but it's consistent with the G-Shine Oath.
Okay, and that was previously admitted as state 69. And state 68. Are the other two that we've run so far. So,
Thank you. You want to know what page I'm on?
please, if you could refer to one for that.
Page 4, under the rules, says oath / red alert. And I'll read directly from here first. I take this oath and solemnly swear to uphold, honor, and respect the rules and regulations that govern the Empire of Shine under the banner of the United Blood Nation. I take this oath to be responsible, trustworthy, and militant, for I am a reflection of this hood, and in parentheses, empire. From this day forward, I will no longer think or act as an individual, because I know my actions can affect others. I take this oath and swear to be there for my brothers and sisters in time of need and give them a sturdy shoulder to lean on, for my loyalty lies in G-Shine Empire.
So this one's a little bit different on that.
Right.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury why there may be a difference between those two?
These Bibles, books of knowledge, they're handwritten most of the time or typed up like this, as you can tell, and this is probably like a notepad application on a computer. And everyone, as they learn it, they write it down. And, you know, if you've ever played the game of telephone as a child, little things might change from one text to another. But for the most part, I believe it's pretty much almost the same.
Okay, going to the next message on October 24th.
You're fine. Can we approach?
Oh, already. Already. That didn't take long. Who said sidebar coming in 2 minutes? I wonder how long ago that was that we said that. Take a shot, do a squat. Every time. Every time. I gotta mute that. That sound is awful. It didn't take long.
Please don't discuss the case, don't form any opinion about the case, don't allow anyone to discuss
And now
the
we're
case.
in recess.
All right, thank you.
He made it 10 minutes of testifying. 10 minutes of testifying.
Thank you. Let the record reflect the jury stepped out. Counsel remain along with the defendant and the witnesses on the stand. Yes, counsel. Now, your objection is was previously stated as you're objecting this witness testifying wearing a mask. Based upon his testimony, I overruled the objection, and now you're suggesting you want to revisit that.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead and tell me, make your argument.
May I inquire from the witness?
Sure.
Sir, are you aware that your picture along with your family is on the internet as we sit here today?
Nope.
May I approach?
You may. Same thing you showed counsel sidewalk?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I show you what, this is a picture of mask, that is you and your family,
Yes, sir.
and that's on your wife's Cash App,
Yes, sir.
which is available to anyone, who runs that, because we just ran it this morning.
I guess so. I did my best to keep things clean. I guess I missed that one.
We would object to him continuing to testify with his mask on based upon that as a public record.
Yeah, this is nothing that this witness put on. It was something that was done by a family member that he was unaware of. So based on that, the testimony is still truthful and accurate as to what he has done to protect his identity on that. So based on that particular item, I don't think that rises to that level.
Thank you. All right. Take a few step down for a second. Just wait outside.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I have a request.
Yes.
Can I briefly call my wife and make sure that she scrubs everything that I might have missed?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
And Judge, we just asked if to have the defense counsel not to preserve that because that is something that is not out. There would be concerns for the safety of the witness on that. It's already been seen by the court and be described as such, to preserve it. Is there anything else on that that could lead to the safety issues for this witness would be very troubling.
We have no problem with that.
So that's agreed. All right. So, like the witnesses finds out from his spouse. I guess my concern is, it's always something we're trying to balance things. The news group has a right to be here and film what's going on in the courtroom. The defendant has a right of confrontation. Typically, it's face to face, but it's not hard and fast. The witness indicates there's threats on his life, and he's worried about his security of his family. And it's balancing of all those things. So I don't know where this came from or how it was obtained. I don't know how you got a hold of the picture in the first place. You're saying it's on a Cash App?
So, yeah, all you have to do, her phone number is listed, and when you put her in Cash App, the picture comes up.
Cash App is what?
So Cash App is similar to Zelle, Venmo, so if I want to send you money, or better yet, if you want to send me money, you have a Cash App, you send it to either my phone number or to my email, whatever I have set up. And most people do have pictures there. It is open to the public. Cash App is not one of, with Venmo, you can actually make things private. Cash App does not. So everything you do on Cash App is in the public domain.
Yeah, it seems a little concerning and troubling if they'd be looking at the witness's wife and family, the intent to cause them some sort of harm or to intimidate them in any way.
Well, I resent that, first of all. We have a right to confront the accuser. They made a representation. It turns out to be incorrect. So, quite candidly, I resent any implication that we're trying to put anyone in danger. Quite to the contrary.
It does though. Looking up his wife's phone number and he's saying that.
Hey, if we in recess, when you want to step out, find out, if he's able to find out the information, to be in recess. Need a restroom break, Mr. Dennis?
Sir.
No? All right.
I know.
That to me, I don't care which side you are on or if you haven't made up your mind yet. To me, that was ridiculous. If they're wanting his mask off to the point where they're looking up his wife's phone number to see if she has, to try to use his, first of all, I cannot tell you what picture is on my Cash App. I have no clue. I'll look. I have no idea. No clue what's even on my Cash App. Let's see. So to say that like, oh, well, all you'd have to have is his wife's phone number. Okay, who's going to have his wife's phone number? I think that was tacky. But to use that as an excuse of why, oh, dang, how old is that? So these pictures don't change when you change your other stuff, huh? For them to say that that it's public and that anybody could find it if they search his wife's phone number, who's going to have his wife's phone number? Like, and I have said, during this whole time that, like, my picture on here is from 3 years ago. And I could not have even told you what picture was on there. To say that they want the judge to change his ruling about the mask because if you search his wife's phone number, her Cash App comes up and there's a family picture. Interesting. Okay, if it's public, just searching the last name, not just the phone number. They said phone number. So, but regardless, I mean, I've said all along that I'm so impressed by this defense team, but I don't like that move at all. I think that was not a fan of how that just went down at all. Any of the comments about how he asks for this because of doing his job are going to be removed, and I don't want them in this chat. Just FYI. Oh, let's see. Tosh says MTV Catfish uses Cash App all the time as an investigative tool. I don't know why anyone would use a family photo on an app like this. I just pulled mine up, and mine was I just looked at my. I literally have not thought about these pictures in forever, and I was just looking. One of them was a picture of mine that was my Facebook profile picture like 3 years ago. I don't know if that's how it got up there, but I don't know enough about how all those get done or get chosen, or if I had to pick it, or if it just came from my Facebook years ago and then doesn't change. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, for them to wait till he gets through this, and then he showed on the cell phone instead of having like printouts or anything like that, that means that this just came up, in my opinion. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what they rule. If I were his wife getting a call from him about that right now, I would have had the same reaction I just had, like, oh crap, what picture is on there? I don't even know what picture is on there, or how old it is, or where it came from. The picture that I have on there is, I know it's 3 years old because it's when it was from right when I finished chemo. And there's no way I could have even guessed what picture was on there until I just pulled it up. Let's see. Lana says, is it Sack or Melly texting on the phone with Gino? If it's Sack, why are they putting that in? If it's Melly, why does it say young Sack chaser? This has been confusing me. So it's Melly, theoretically, because all of the other picture or all of the other texts and stuff back and forth from his mom are all during the same time, and it was all him. He's the one who had this phone. So unless he is continuously handing his phone over to somebody else to have a conversation and then taking it back and texting his mom and then handing it back over for him to respond, then, which is obviously very unlikely, then this is Melly. Now it's saying young Sack chaser on there. They are on a family plan together. So the way that it was with T-Mobile when I had it is I had, unless I went through and changed, like you can go on the website and stuff and change the name, then it will have whatever name was put on there. Let's see. Lisa Wilmot, I thought about that. You know, if they need to remove the mask, then, you know, I would hope they would if they need to remove everybody from the gallery or whatever else. But I just want them to take his safety into consideration and, do what needs to be done for that. Like, and of course I want to hear what he has to say, but even if that means that we don't get to hear or whatever, his safety is the top concern. The safety of his family. I don't know. Interesting.
Was previously stated as you're objecting to this witness testifying wearing a mask.
Oh, it's still just the same. So, old stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I agree. They definitely should not show his face on camera. Mask, no mask, definitely should not. And I agree. Here's my thing about that. I wish that if they were going to do this whole thing, that it would have been not on camera, because anybody who could be looking for their family, the first thing they're going to do is start trying to pull that up. I wish that this would have been handled differently. Yeah, I think if they have him take the mask off, I would say that if they would remove everybody from the gallery, because you can tell them all day long not to have their phones and stuff, but I don't know. If he's fearing for his life, you don't know who's in the courtroom. I would just say if they make him take his mask off, I would clear out the gallery, but that's just me. What do I know? Ed says it's more than the mask, though. Someone would recognize his build and his voice. Tony says defense isn't pushing for the mask to be off for no reason. I believe there's something there. If not, I think it's complete BS of the defense. So here's the thing about them pushing for it to be off. So having the right to face his accuser, sure. Do I think it's that? No, I don't. Not at all. I don't think that that's what it is. I think that they don't want him to have the mask because, like, one of the attorneys that was in here last week said that, it could be considered, it could make, how did he word it? That it could make it seem like Melly is more dangerous or whatever. So having the need for him having a mask could be, from a psychological standpoint to the jury, make Melly seem more dangerous than they want him to, or something like that. So, that's what I think, but I don't think it has anything to do with facing his accuser. And y'all can disagree with me. That's fine. I'm entitled to my own opinions, and Lord knows I'm going to give them. Alyssa K says, shouldn't have had this on camera in the first place, just like how Mark said. sent in the Rudolph trial. Yeah, that when they had the undercover in the Rudolph trial, they had camera and audio off. And as much as we hated to miss that testimony, again, like, this is all, doing what it takes to protect the innocent. So. Let's see. Madam CJ No Walker says he threw up the blood symbol on national TV. Who are you talking about? The witness or Melly? Melly's done it a million times on, hell, he did it on the Jumbotron at the NBA game. Let's see. Yeah, there are pictures of him with the mask on, but I think that's different than him coming and saying, here's your picture and your family's picture that's public online. I wish that would have been said off camera. I think it should have been said off camera. I feel like the mask makes the defendant look more scary. Yeah, that's kind of the same thoughts I was having. Which isn't necessarily accurate or how it goes or how it should be, whatever, but from a psychological standpoint, it's reality. Having a witness who has to be masked for fear of his life puts that thought of the defendant being more scary. Lana says, if they make him remove his mask, the gallery must be cleared. We're talking about someone's safety and the safety of family members. If he's already got a bounty, he shouldn't be anywhere near this. I agree with that. Tiny Thomas, but before he took the stand, they let it be known he was wearing it due to another case, not Melly's. It's not just that one case. The bounty was from was from other stuff from when he testified in other high profile stuff. So the bounty was, but the mask is like a ongoing thing. If he's doing, this work, then the mask itself would need to be the ongoing thing. The bounty was from something previous. Let's see. Mora says, why allow this push of the defense while the judge made clear that he's allowed to wear the mask? Judge should be more congruent in this. Yeah, now I guess the defense wants to revisit it because now they found his wife's Cash App. Yes, it was decided on Friday. Marie Moss, it was decided on Friday. And now we are revisiting it again. Because that's what we do in this case. But Tosh, the thing is, Tosh says again, is he the only gang expert they could have used? Mask can be assumed that he is scared of Melly. But that's the thing is this is not uncommon for undercovers to use a mask while they're testifying. It's not uncommon at all. And so a gang expert is a gang expert. A gang expert's not going to want to go in court and expose their face no matter who they are. So it's not about this specific one. It's about having an undercover in general, like the Travis Rudolph one that we mentioned before. He was undercover as well, and he had to cover. He had like the mask and glasses, and they had partitions in front of him, for, so that the gallery couldn't see him. Like they went to great lengths to cover him, and it's like one of the only good things the court did in that situation. Let's see. Defense is trying to prove that witness only wants mask on, or prosecution wants the mask on to show how dangerous the defendant is. Is the witness really in danger if they can find a pic of his fam? I agree that that is what they are trying to say. Do I agree with them? No, absolutely not. But I agree that that is what they are trying to say. But didn't the judge tell the juror that it was nothing to do with this case as to why he was wearing the mask? And
Am I missed?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
yes, they did.
And Judge, we just asked to have defense counsel not to preserve that, because that is something that it got out. There would be concerns for the safety of the witness on that.
It's just
It would be
flashback.
seen by the court and be described as such. But to preserve it, or anything else on that that could lead to safety issues for this witness would be very troubling.
We have no problem with that.
So that's agreed. All right. So, like the witnesses finds out from his spouse. I guess my concern is, it's always something we're trying to balance things. The news crew has a right to be here and film what's going on in the courtroom. The defendant has a right of confrontation. Typically, it's face to face, but it's not hard and fast. The witness indicates there's stress on his life, and he's worried about his security of his family, and it's balancing of all those things. So I don't know where this came from or how it was obtained. I don't know how you got a hold of the picture in the first place. You're saying it's on a Cash App?
So yeah, all you have to do, her phone number is listed, and when you put her in Cash App, the picture comes up.
Cash App is what?
So Cash App is similar to Zelle, Venmo, so it's if I want to send you money, or better yet, if you want to send me money, you have a Cash App, you send it to either my phone number or to my email, whatever I have set up. And most people do have pictures there. It is open to the public. Cash App is not with Venmo, you can actually make things private. Cash App does not, so everything you do on Cash App is in the public domain.
Yeah, it seems a little concerning and troubling if they'd be looking at the witness's wife and family with the intent to cause them some sort of harm or to intimidate them in any way.
Well, I resent that, first of all. We have a right to confront the accuser. They made a representation. It turns out to be incorrect. So, quite candidly, I resent any implication that we're trying to put anyone in danger. Quite to the contrary.
Now you'll be in recess when you want to step out, find out, if he's able to find out.
They're still just replaying stuff that they said. Let's see. Yeah, that's just the replay. Everybody seems kind of split on this. Most are one way, most are the other. Let's do a poll while we're waiting. Start a poll. Do you think witness All right, let's see. I put the clear the courtroom in there too.
Reflecting the presence of the defendant, Mr. Devon, his counsel, and his state attorneys. Yes, so, where are we at, Councilman?
Yeah, put me up, bro.
Sure.
I thought we were back, and then they asked to approach. Doesn't take long. This is our life now. This is why we can't get through any testimony. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. Yeah, I hate that sound too. I keep muting it, but I don't want to miss anything they say, so I try to like unmute it sometimes, but I wish that instead of the white noise, they could just like, or at least turn it down some so we don't have to listen to it so loud. I feel like I've heard more white noise than I have actual testimony during this trial. Yes, the jury was in there when they asked about the family photo, I believe, weren't they? Because they did the recess right after that, I believe. I could be wrong. That's the way I remember it. Why are you whining? Let's see. Oh, did they remove the jury before they did that? I don't know. I don't remember. Some of you are saying yes, they were. Some of you are saying no, they weren't. I thought that they were still in there because they called the thing. I don't remember though. I know that they called the sidebar. It was right after he started talking about the rules and stuff, and so it wasn't even anything related to it. So it must have been that they had just gotten it. Brandi, would your opinion change if it was someone else who found the Cash App and sent it to the defense? No, that has nothing to do with it. I don't care who found it. I feel like that should have not been addressed on TV or on camera. I think that if that was something that, I don't care who found it, I think that it should not have been said on camera. That should have been handled outside of this, because I feel like now that's opened it up for people to start looking. Let's see. When is the trial end date? Well, that depends. They said end of July, but the way that things are going, there's no way that this is going to end at the end of July, because we've got all next week off too, and we're not doing court on Friday, so this is only 4 days a week, and we spend the majority of our day in sidebars. So, I don't see an end in sight. Christmas 2028. Let's see. Let's see. Angie Barr says, one juror already told the judge she was intimidated with a mask because of something from her past, but she shouldn't have been chosen then. That's one thing that I don't get either. She said that she had anxiety because she saw somebody get robbed when she was younger, which if you see somebody with a mask and that happened to you when you're younger, that's totally understandable. What I don't understand is how she got picked for a jury, especially a death penalty case, because the questioning is generally so much more extensive. How that got through, but what do I know? Yes, they are still tripping about the mask. That is what we are waiting on. Let's see. The mask on is not an appeals issue. They can still confront him. There were many trials with masks with COVID. Let's see. Julie says, wonder how the jurors are tolerating all of these issues in and out of the courtroom. That's one of the things that I said on Thursday that is so frustrating, because this is making things last so much longer, and they're already asking how much longer. And now this, like, all the constant sidebars and recesses and arguing and stuff is just making them more and more weary. And we are now down to the drilling's back. We're now down from 3 alternates down to 2 alternates, and there's no end in sight. And this could be bad if this process continues this way. Oh, the drilling. It is not a robbery case. Obviously, it's not a robbery case, no. But there are extensive lines of questioning about the witnesses and their experiences with crime and with police officers and with, I mean, everything involved, every little thing that could be an effect, affect things down the road. They ask a lot about that. Let's see. So in your opinion, oh gosh, them again. All right, so in your opinion, if I can ask, if you were the jurors, would you vote guilty or not guilty? It's way too soon to say that. I mean, we've barely gotten anything out of anything other than sidebars. And it says many people seem to wake up this morning and choose attitude. It's funny too, because when we started the day, I was like, it's gonna be a good day. Manifest it good. Everybody got their sassy pants on. Let's see.
Can I see a second? We're in recess for a minute. Can I see you? Camera crew? Jason, is it? Or Joshua?
All right, so he says we're in recess. He wants to talk to the camera crew. Shireen just gifted a membership. Thank you, Shireen. Thank you, thank you. Megan Baldwin was gifted a membership by Shireen. Thank you so much, Shireen. We appreciate it.
Founders of these games.
Shireen says to cheer things up. To cheer things up. Yeah, they're
Yeah, you bring it. Yes, sir. You can take off your mask.
Yes, sir.
Over, state's objection are based on the previous issues.
Jury entering. Thank you. Please be seated. Let the record once again reflect the presence of the defendants, his counsel, assistant state attorney, today's gentleman jury, and our witness, Mr. Polo, remains on the stand. Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you. Okay, Detective Polo, we left off talking about the G-Shine oath and the slight differences between them. The next message on October 24th of 2018 discusses coming up with a handle. What is a handle?
It's like a unique name, a moniker, something that you would assign yourself as your gang name, kind
Okay.
of like your Instagram handle or your Cash App handle.
And then is that put in again and responded as that definition for what a handle is on October 24th of 2018?
Yeah.
Okay.
That says right there. Then the books would be referring to the G-Shine book, the book of membership.
Okay. Going to October 26th of 2018 on this, there is a message from Gino to the 9807 phone number. What does it say?
Asking if he's good. So, bro, you good?
Okay. Continuing on, the next message from Gino to the 9807 phone number.
In this message, Gino states, we here for you, bro. Just let us know what you need.
Okay. And in terms of the time frame on this case, are you aware of when the homicides occurred?
Yeah, I believe these messages were sent after the homicide.
So going on to October 27th of 2018.
What page are you on? I'm sorry.
Still on page 32. The last message on that. If you could read that one aloud.
I went through what you're going through. It hurts, but it's like when you going to the next level, the people you love die. It's so that they can protect you better from the sky.
In terms of additional messages in this, and I'm going to go forward now to page 35. There's again a reference to homies. Is that something that's commonly associated with blood or G-Shine members?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just say that's my homie or something, but in the game world, your big homie is the person that brought you in. The homies would be people within your organization. Different ways to reference that.
Okay, going forward now to page 38. There is a message 920-445-5126. Do you see that particular
Yes.
message? And it's, who is that identified?
Godfather
Okay.
is referencing the GF.
And so then again, to put that next to what's been previously emitted as State 69, 920-445-5126. Are those the same phone numbers?
Yeah, that's the phone number for Keith Stevens. They call him Stretch.
And could you explain where Gino would fall in the lineup under Stretch?
He's below Stretch.
Okay.
They're referring to Stretch as the Godfather, so he would be one step below the Godfather head, the person that reports straight to the council in New York, the UBN,
Okay.
United Blood Nation Council.
And then if you could explain November 28th, 2018, the message that's sent from the 9807 phone number.
The 9807 number messages him, tell him that's my calling from the 772 number. So he's explaining to tell the Godfather that he's going to be the one calling from the 772 number.
And that's the area code that the 9807 phone number starts with.
Yes, 772-713-9807.
In terms of the response, and then from the 9807 again, that LMAO beloved, and then why is it significant to have the 5 instead of an S in Rise?
So I don't recall if we went over it during the description of the United Blood Nation and the Bloods. So a quick breakdown would be the United Blood Nation is the East Coast faction of the Bloods. As I stated before, they were started in California and the West Coast. The East Coast, they began what's called the UBN. The UBN fell under another alliance called People Nation. And the People Nation, they came up with sign symbols and things to separate them from Folk Nation, which was an alliance of other gangs like Crips, GDs, and many other, right? So one of the signs and symbols of People Nation and the Bloods, since they try to keep these signs and symbols kind of the same, so that you don't have one group with the number 5 and the other group with the number 4 and the other group with the number 6. They all align under the 5, right? So the number 5 is significant to them. That's why they throw up the 5-point star, 5-point crown. A lot of things they use have the number 5 in it. So they'll sometimes replace, like when they replace C's with B's or X's, they'll use the number 5 to show their allegiance to the UBN and to People Nation.
So I want to go to December 2nd of 2018. There is a image that's here, and I'm going to have to switch over to the digital version.
What page?
This is on page 39. in this particular image, were you able to identify the co-defendant, Cortland Henry?
Yes,
And where is he looking in that one photo?
can I stand up here?
You can say that.
Let me see if I can get something to point with, Your Honor. So
It's on touchscreen, right? This time.
that's not, so.
Oh, be careful, don't show him.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you a wireless mouse. It doesn't really work on this screen particularly well, but if you could come around this side, stay that direction, please. And if you could point to Cortland Henry. Okay, so it's not working on that screen on that, so just if you keep your back.
That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, do you see the individual identified as Jamell Simmons in this picture?
Subject right there.
Okay.
Keyshawn.
The other individuals that are in this photo, were you able to identify them?
Yes,
And who are they?
this is Jamon Mitchell, he was in the email chain, sent through the YNW Melly booking email account. This is Jaquan Burton, Q-Shine, or Perk, that's saved on the phone. This is Barrett Dixon, AKA Gino, saved on the 9807 phone number.
And the hand signs and symbols that are being shown, what are they indicative of?
So this hand sign right here, that's a big B for blood. This right here is G-Shine, same hand sign that Melly or Mr. Demons is throwing out. Same hand sign he puts on his music albums and commonly uses. It's a specific hand sign, just the G-Shine, to the Gangster Killer Bloods. While this is a universal hand sign for Bloods, this is universal hand sign for Bloods. This is specific to Gangster Killer Bloods.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and scroll down further on that same page, same 39. See?
Thank you.
So going down here on December 12th of 2018, there's a message from, again, the Gino to the 9807 phone number. If you could read that message aloud.
Are you a Ruru? I was thinking you should drop a few chains and give them to the gang. That'll show people who you connected with. It's not mandatory, just a thought.
Okay. The response,
Not everybody, of course.
is there a dues or tithing that's required as for membership in a criminal gang?
Yeah, as described in the oath and many times throughout the Bible, it's not about the individual, it's about the collective. The mere fact that he wasn't even communicating with Gino and with his lineup enough, that was enough for them to say, you're not doing enough for us. And now, to step further, we need to be brought to these shows, and you should buy this some jewelry, because that jewelry's not cheap.
Okay, so then the next message from December 12th is says you're in the position to be a young Don. What is a young Don?
Higher up, captain.
Okay. Is that one of the ranks?
They didn't reference that name as in their Bible as what they call their ranks. So I think it's just like a term related to the mafia, Don.
Okay. And the response from the 9807 phone number is?
Let's do it.
Okay. Then Gino continues on in the next message on 12/12/2018, still on page 40. In that message that's up there, is there other terms and things that you see that would be indicative of G-Shine or Gangster Killer Bloods?
Yes, so I'll read it and then I'll go through it. Bet that, Ascari, but seriously, I want you to really think about the power you possess, little brother. I'm just here to show you how to use it. So the first thing is Gino is addressing the 9807 number as Ascari, which is rank. It's not like saying blood or homie or any of the other, or Herc or twin. He's specifically calling him Ascari. It would be like calling him general if he was in one of the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor general spots, or Godfather, something to that effect. He's saying Ascari, you are an Ascari. And we know that based off his email where he has a document that says you have now ascended to the position of Ascari. So this reaffirms that. And then Gino explains, I want you to think about the power you possess. And that power comes from, in my opinion, from what I've read through all these messages, the power is money. Money is power in a game. And not only is money power, but fear and intimidation
Objection.
is power.
Sustained.
Okay, so going on,
Right. Your disregard of last comment, stricken.
moving on to the next page, 42, at the very top. If you could read that message aloud.
Once the family gets a real glimpse of how you rock with me, it's all access granted. Be like a young Nicky Scarfo,
Who is Nicky Scarfo?
a Philly mob boss,
Okay.
very powerful mafia boss in Philadelphia.
Okay. So then there's other messages, December 23rd, 2018, where Gino is asking for something. Can you read that one aloud, please?
The things I ask you to do don't even cost money. Shake my head. SMH.
Okay. With response, then December 23rd, there's a message about at 8:18 a.m. If you could read that one.
No more shows for you and that N-word. Track being his manager. Mr. Demon's manager. I'm putting bubble gum in his hair. Yin Yang twin looking ass.
Okay. The next request, if you could read that one aloud.
The Godfather wants to know if we can be an R&B group.
Is there anything based on your training and experience that you can say about that particular message?
In these organizations, the higher ups usually call the shots, although the guys on the bottom of the totem pole might be doing their own thing, either, whatever hustle they decide to choose. They have some autonomy, but at a certain point, if you get directions from your higher ups, you kind of have to start listening to them. You wouldn't just be able to act reckless and do whatever you want. So you would get some kind of direction, especially if it's for the benefit of the organization and benefit of the game.
Okay, moving on from page 43 on to 44. At 12:26, the Rue, I need to skyline with you. What does that mean?
I need to talk to you, I need to meet up with you.
Okay. And then the next message, 44. The next message on page 44.
I'm here to help you, but I refuse to not be helped back. Takes a seat out. In all actuality, you don't fuck with me or with the set. I'm beefing with N-words in Florida, and I don't even know. Shake my head. Why are you even around?
And if you can remind the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what does it mean to be false flagging?
False flagging is claiming something that you're not. So saying you're blood when you're not a blood, or saying you're a blood and you are a blood and you're just not acting like a blood. And holding to your values for your oath as a blood.
Okay, going to page 47 at the very bottom. What is being asked of the 9807 number at this point?
Post me for my belated birthday, Herc. I'm only asking
Wow.
because I got hella hoes last time you posted me. He's asking 9807 number to post him on social media because it got him a lot of females last time he did that. So he's clout chasing.
Okay. And can you explain what clout chasing is?
Trying to get popular, famous, get a lot of views, become famous using social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any platform, TikTok, Twitch. These gang members are on all these platforms. Regular people are on all these platforms. Everyone's, like I said, the era of social media. Everyone's trying to make money on social media, and he's trying to get females.
Okay, so on January 26th of 2019, there's another message that has some unfamiliar words. If you could read that and translate it.
On another note, one of them, Pyru N-words, reached out to me saying something about some for shit.
And could you explain what Pyru is?
Pyru, I discussed that when we were talking about the original West Coast Bloods, the Pyru Boys, Pyru Street Boys. They were a gang that originated in the West Coast. Now there's East Coast Pyrus. And Pyrus are a different set of bloods. They don't fall under G-Shine. G-Shine is its own thing. They don't fall under the UBN. They're their own thing. Pyrus are West Coast Bloods, and there's a big difference between West Coast Bloods and East Coast Bloods. They don't respect each other. Might work with each other sometimes, show a little reverence towards each other because they're all blood. But as of right now, I know for sure there is a disconnect between West Coast Bloods and East Coast Bloods, and there's not much respect.
Okay, going on January 27th of 2019, still on page 48 at the bottom, what messages is Gino sending to the 9807 phone number?
The top message at the bottom, you said?
Start with the top one.
Top one, okay. It was quite a lot, accusing you of something that you're punishable by death, also stating that Shine Family is nothing more than a chess game in the palm of little Four's hand. I myself found that amusing. The reach of the G-Shine hand is far-reaching, but being that you are really Shine, that's something you are not gonna have to witness. For mothers and kids are not off limits when disrespecting Shine in all capitals.
Okay, in terms of the little Four's hand, what is that?
He's talking about Pyrus.
Is that the 4s and the 5s you were explaining earlier?
Yeah, it might. That's probably specific to that Pyru set. It could be what's like certain, say like there's like a set of rolling bloods, right? That's like rolling 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. So these Pyrus, it's apparent from messages, something about their set aligns with another 4. It's probably a street.
Okay. So going on to page 50, January 27th, 2019, the first message to the 9807 phone number from the Gino contact. What does that say?
Stretch got a date set up for us to pull up so we can have a face-to-face. Whoever don't show, getting kicked out the whip.
What is the whip?
The whip is the lineup. That's one of the things they call it. So you call them a whip, a lineup. In the Bible, they call it the temple or districts. The whip would be specific here in this message because it's Stretch calling it would be specific to the G-Shine set that the 9807 number belongs to.
Okay. So going on to page 51. Is there another reference to those chains that we just previously talked about?
Yeah, they continue to ask. He said, what happens with the chains?
And the response from the 9807 on page 52 as to the chains.
All that's coming, you see, is replaced with K, big bro. Be patient, I'm fresh out, I'm gonna have everything handled. Ain't seen my mama yet, I'm only one man.
Okay. So going back to, on to page 53, the message from the Gino contact reads what?
Hey, for real though, I need to borrow 10 bands. I'll give you 15 back.
And the next line?
If I don't pay you back, you can have my stain and my life.
What is a band?
Bands, $10,000 or $1,000.
Okay,
One band is $1,000, 10 bands, $10,000.
okay. And the next line about having stain, what does that refer to?
That's a slang term used for for their like the rank. It's like if you say I'm going to give you my stain, I'm give you my rank. He's saying if I don't pay you back, you can have my rank. So obviously, the person speaking to the 9807 number is above an Ascari, which we determine the 9807 number is being spoken to as he's in Ascari.
Okay. Going to January 31st of 2019 on page 55. Does Gino at this relate his life story to the 9807 phone number?
Yes.
Okay. There's also an attachment of some sort of song on that from Gino.
Yes, Gino was an aspiring rapper as well. Sends the 9807 number sends a song to that 9807 number. At some point, Gino changes his Instagram handle to YNW Gino Shine instead of Gino Shine. YNW being the YNW collective that Mr. Demons was a part of.
Okay, going on to
I'm sorry, what
February,
page was this? I'm sorry.
that was 55, moving on to 56. At the top of page 56, there is a message. If you could read that and then translate it, please.
I believe that you are a man of your word, the Godfather behind the wall. So the Godfather in prison, not the Godfather on the outside, which is stretch. Godfather behind the wall is trying to put you on a plate, saying you use and shine for your image. So I told him that's a dub. You're signing me in March, and I hope for our sake you're not flagging at this point. It's critical. So he is giving a warning / threat that if, first off, the Godfather behind the wall, Godfather in prison, so one of the more powerful ranks, he's thinking about putting the 9807 number on the plate, which, if you guys recall, that means he's going to be labeled for death. That means if any other blood member sees him, doesn't matter what rank or set, they're to kill this person. And then the accusation is that the 9807 number is using Shine for their own personal image and not for the collective, which has been a topic on this several times. Then Gino responds, or continues and says that he vouched for him basically and told the Godfather that he's not just using G-Shine for his self-image because the 9807 number has promised to sign Gino. And he says, I hope you're not flagging, I hope you're not lying, because it's critical at this point. Because once the Godfather's thinking about putting you on the plate, making you food, green lighting you, whatever you want to call it, there's no going back from that.
Okay, and in terms of at the end of this page, there's this last message, February 10th of 2019. And so the names in this, Kodak, do you know who they're referring to?
Probably Kodak Black,
Okay,
rapper.
and Boosie?
Boosie's another rapper.
Okay, and Quando? Sorry.
Quando's
Quando Rondo.
a consumer rapper. He's saying he's going to sign him.
Okay, so is this something that G-Shine is involved in as part of their regular business in the music industry?
Most gangs try to get rappers in their organization for the money and clout, and it just helps with their image. it helps promote the game.
So moving on to the conversation with the contact that's labeled Perk, ending in 1322. If you could, you said this Q shine? Have you
Yeah.
identified Q shine in that photo previously?
Yeah, Jaquan Burton, the tall, he was a tall male in the red outfit. He was also throwing up the G-Shine hand sign one.
Okay. And so these messages start on page 58 for defense counsel, going on to 59. I want to go down here to the messages from the 9807 number to this new contact Perk on September 13th of 2018, the one in the middle. If you could just read that out loud.
Now, me and Bra fought well. I fought young boy. He fought my brother Zach.
Moving on to the next message here. You had mentioned the term crab before. If you could remind ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what does that mean?
Crab's a derogatory term for anyone who falls under the crib game.
Okay. And so if you could read the September 13th, 2018, 10:07 p.m. message.
It says, he said he gonna kill us, shine N-words when he catch us. Well, me and you, LOL. I told that crab ass N-word, if he touch any of my herks, it's over for him. So he's, if you notice, he crosses out most of the C's, but not all of them. Yeah, most of the C's. He puts a CK, crip killer. So that's the only time you'll see a C, unless they just forget to cross it out, they can catch. When they put CK, that's something that is typically graffiti, CK, crip killer. When they'll do that in neighborhoods where the crips are predominant.
Okay, and then going on to page 60. This particular message at the top, actually the second one down, on September 14th of 2018. If you could read that one aloud.
Say, bro, way you want to meet up tomorrow before the show with a 5.
And the response from the 9807 number.
Slap, hurt.
Is there anything particular about those two terms?
Well, herc is that same term of endearment, basically, that's used between members of G-Shine, and slap is a common blood, kind of like a calling or saying. They say slap, they say a couple other things. That's one of them.
Okay. And in terms of continuing through page 61, what are the discussions about this particular venue? If you could read that one aloud.
Y001, I don't mean to keep hitting you up, bro, but what time do you want me to come? Took out the seat up there. I don't know the place or time it starts. Also took out the seat on place.
Okay, and then the responses are.
I'm getting ready now, or most likely around 1 a.m.
Okay. And then the questions that are sent back.
Where is it located? Again, with the CK, her killer.
Okay. And then it talks about the venue.
Yeah, he's asking about a venue. Where are they going to meet? Where's the location at?
Okay. Going on to September 15th, what does this message say?
Subject, Herc or Jaquan Burton says, but I got them sticks with me, so you know we're going to be 050. We're going to be good.
And what are sticks? Did you determine that in your training and experience?
Sticks are rifles and rifles or shotguns, any long gun, other than something that's not a handgun.
Okay, so continuing on September 15th, some of the responses from the 9807 number.
9807 number responds, yes, sir. Always us, Herc. He uses the 5s instead of the S's. Like I said, the S's, the reason they replace S's for 5s is because Crips, derogatory term for blood, is a slob starts with an S. So to avoid using S's, he'll put some 5s in there. And then he says, no problem, gotta look out for my Shine brothers. It's one of the 8 rules. And he references back to the G-Shine rules.
Okay. In terms of the location and the address that's on there, have you searched the phone for the location address on this particular incident?
I
On
did.
September 15th?
I did at the time, but I can't recall right now.
Was it consistent, or I wouldn't say consistent, but was it also in the Jacksonville area as reflected in the message above?
Yes, I do recall that.
And that was on page 64 for defense counsel. Going on to page 66, September 16th of 2018. What message is coming in from the individual labeled as Burke?
That same G-Shine saying, I shine, you shine, we shine, G-Shine. What's your email so I can low ride you the knowledge, low ride you, send you, communicate with you the knowledge being the Bibles, the books of knowledge.
Okay, and on September 16th of 2018, what email address does the 9807 send out as the email address to send it to?
YNW Melly booking at gmail.com, the same email that the G-Shine books of knowledge were recovered from.
I want to go to now page 68. And this is going to have to switch over to the digital version again. On September 21st, 2018, at 12:06 a.m., what is the email address that is sent?
BurtonJaquan@gmail.com.
What page are we on? You're losing me.
My apologies, Mr. Howard.
I'm sorry.
We are on, I believe, 66. $68 now. Okay, so to go back to the digital version, to go to page 68, so pull up that photo. Who is identified in this picture?
Mr. Demons throwing up the gangster killer blood hand sign. The other subject is, I call it Jaquan Burton, and he's throwing up the same gangster killer blood hand sign.
Okay. And if you could identify them by an article of clothing as to who is who.
Right, they're both doing the same hand sign. Mr. Demons is wearing the colorful trench coat, and Mr. Burton is wearing the white t-shirt, black pants with the Swisher Sweets in his pocket, and the red bandana poking out the right.
So we can zoom in on that. This is the red bandana you're talking about, by Social Suites?
Usually in the back pocket.
Okay. Continuing now on page 68, then on to page 69. There's again that same number for the Godfather that we previously discussed.
It's a different number.
And is there other instances in which,
That's the number. Oh yeah, it's a different number altogether.
are there other instances in which it says the Godfather's working more than one phone?
Objection.
Well, right here.
Objection.
I'm sorry,
I apologize.
I didn't hear the.
Objection. She's asking the witness whether there are other instances.
I used to say, rephrase your question.
We'll come back to that on that specific message. Okay. Going forward now, on September 27th, 2018, what message comes from the 9807 number to the individual saved as Herc.
What page are you on?
Page 71.
Herc, I feel you, but y'all try this rap shit one time. I don't even have time for my mama. I've been doing radio runs all week. Shit's tiring as fuck.
And so the response from the Herc phone number on, again, page 71 at 2:16 a.m. on September 27th.
Bro, I totally understand. We're rocking with you 110%. Trust me, Herc, I'll give my life for my R's, but we gotta communicate more. Ain't nothing personal. We all had to go through from Stretch to me to Gino, but this is how things are going from now, Herc.
Okay. And then the next message.
At the end of the day, we still don't know you. We don't know what your motives are, basically. I just gotta learn you a little more, bro. I've seen people get whacked for bringing the wrong people around. I'm not trying to go through that. You are going about it the right way. Gino and the Godfather are like brothers, for real. By dealing with us, you will be closer to a lot of bros and access to whatever.
I hope this isn't going
In
where I think
terms
it's going.
of the people getting whacked, what does that refer to?
People getting killed.
In any of the messages that we've gone through up to this point, is there any communication with Sack, Chaser, or Anthony Williams?
No.
Is there any communication with Christopher Thomas, also known as Juvie, in any of these messages?
No.
Okay. Continuing on September 27th of 2018. That's the first, you'd mentioned twin earlier. Twin, is that something that you've seen a lot in these messages?
Yeah, it's another term used by members of G-Shine. They'll call each other twin.
Okay, and that was in response to the message here, September 27th, 2018. If you could read that one again.
I shine, you shine, we shine, G-Shine. Just doing my rounds, checking up on everyone. I wasn't trying to be hard on you last night, bro. We fam. We just gotta learn each other more. So Herc is explaining that he's just doing his job to check up on all his other bloods, all his other members. And he's just trying to get to know the 9807 number.
Okay. So that was on page 72 for Defense Counsel. Moving on to September 28th of 2018. Can you read that message and then translate it?
Shake my head. Fools giving false info saying he Inglewood and shit. Y'all gonna do a mixtape. That'll be a good look for you, Herc.
Okay. And I'm going to go above that. On September 28th of 2018, there's a question that's asked, and what is that?
Yo, beloved, what set is Young Thug pushing now? Young Thug the rapper. Just got indicted.
And so it says the response from the 9807 number.
Still the same set. Murder. Murder, not a crime. Murder, sex, money, murder. One of the UBN, United Blood Nation blood sets.
Okay. And then the response as to the fifth floor. What does that mean?
Fifth floor is referring to the ranking system, as I described previously. Call them a fifth floor, call them a 5-star general. It depends on what the set wants to use as their title. But it's consistently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, low, high, Godfather, Godfather head.
Okay, so then on October 3rd of 2018, there's a message from the contact saved as Herc. And what does it say?
What page are you on?
76. What is that?
It says bark at me, bro. The reason bark is important is when the UBN was created, United Blood Nation was created, one of the signs and symbols that they use is to differentiate each other within the prison system was a tattoo or a burn mark. And it was 3 dots on the right shoulder in the shape of a dog paw. So they call it dog paw. So bark at me would be just another way of them incorporating the blood symbology into their language.
Okay, and so then what contact information does the 9807 number give on October 3rd of 2018?
YNW Melly booking at gmail.com.
Okay. Now there is October 4th of 2018. If you could read on page 77 at 6:01 p.m., that one that starts with "Please hit me back."
Please hit me back, Herc. N-words, set tripping, shine sap.
And if you could translate that, please.
So he's telling the 9807 number, please call him back, takes off the C, puts an X. And then he's talking about other G-Shine members who are set tripping. Set tripping meaning not following the rules or just not acting in accordance with how you should be acting as a member of G-Shine or as a member of Blood. He says, call me back shine sap instead of right back or ASAP, something like that. He incorporates G-Shine into the language.
Okay, so then continuing on October 9th, there's a message that is sent to the 9807 number.
Yeah, just doing my round trip, checking up on everything. You gotta communicate, bro. That's the number one rule of being Herc. You can get dubbed out for it.
And what does it mean to be dubbed out?
Kicked out.
Okay, going on to the next message on October 10th, 2018, 11:55 a.m.
Godfather asked me about you. You need to call Gino's line, shine sap. So he's saying the Godfather asked about him, and he's telling him he needs to that the 9807 number needs to call Gino. Right call, he will ball without the C. And he's saying, call him immediately, call me shine sap.
Okay, and then the next message, which is sent October 10th, 2018 at 1:40 p.m., but read October 23rd of 2018. What is the message about a head count?
Says, we're doing a head count. Let us know if you're still in, bro. If not, speak up. He's checking in on the 9807 number, making sure, trying to get confirmation whether this person is still trying to move up in the ranks, trying to be a member of G-Shine.
Okay, so moving to October 13th of 2018, what's the next message that goes from Perk to the 9807 number?
Yo, bro, I know you're busy. Sorry. Yo, bro, what's good? I know be busy and shit, but are you fucking with us still? We need to know if you trying to get your name in the GKB history book and give you your stain, your rank. You still like our little bro, whatever it is, you can bark, talk to us. Or me anytime. I got mad love for you, bro. Like I told you before, I'll kill any N-word or die for you, Herc. That's how much love we got for you. We would have been this same way on you if you wasn't famous. Bro, trust me, just bark at me like a man. No lost love, SL, shine love. Forever shine, bright shine, shine bright.
Okay. The response going on to page 79 is sent October 23rd, 2018, 10:39. And is that the first time that the 9807 number responds to those other messages?
Yeah, it appears that was the first response.
Okay. Going right above that, on October 16th of 2018 at 9:07 p.m. Could you read this message aloud, please?
Talk to me like a man, bro. We're supposed to be bloodas, not brothers, but bloodas. Just let me know what's going on, that's all. So again, using blood terminology in his language, that is just more evidence of the association or membership to Blood Nation.
Okay, going on to the next message, October 26, 2018, 12:42 PM, and this is still on page 79. And I'll switch over to the digital version to make the photo bigger. Is this the picture that was sent in the text messages?
Yeah, that's the same picture.
And in these three individuals, do you recognize them?
Yes.
And who are they?
The subject in the middle is Jamell wearing the colorful outfit. Subject to the left, well, it's my left.
Well, let's go by colors.
Okay, the green shirt is Judy, that's Christopher Thomas, and the red shirt is Anthony Williams, sack chaser.
And the message associated with that said,
Yo, is this true?
the next message from Kirk on October 26th of 2018, that reads as what follows. If you could please publish that for the jury on October 26th, 5:27 PM, again, page 79, defense counsel.
So the message from her at 5:27 PM on October 26th says, damn bro, I'm sorry, get closer. Damn bro, I'm sorry for your loss. I know shit's hard right now for you right now, but keep your head up. I wish I could have been there to guide you. If it's anything you need, bro, let me know. Don't hesitate to bark at me. Love you, bro, 110%.
Okay.
He was offering his guidance in reference to what had occurred.
Okay. Going on to page 81. October 29th of 2018. Can you read those two messages and publish them for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
We just gotta watch how we bark at each other, that's all. Just talk normal, hit me back, as we say. We just gotta be careful the way we talk to each other, and that's all, just to talk to him normally. Just giving him a word of caution, giving him some guidance.
And so then the next response from the number ending in 1322 labeled as her.
You wanna ask you about some music, if that's cool. Cool.
And does the October 29th at 9:55 PM, is that same email address that you previously mentioned of burtonjaquan@gmail.com mentioned?
Yes, same email, same subject.
And that's on the bottom of page 82 now, going to the response from the 9807 number. What does that read?
Yeah, Blood, I'm on my way to a show, Shine Love, SL.
Okay.
Going to November 8th of 2018.
I'm sorry.
Can we take a heat break or warm break?
Thank you. We'll take a short recess, ladies and gentlemen. Do not discuss the case. Don't form any opinion about the case. Don't allow anyone to discuss the case in your presence. Certain no research. Please no take on here. Thank you. Thank you. Let the record reflect the jury stepped out. Counsel Manuel, the defendant and the witness, anything to discuss?
No, sir.
All right, you need a restroom break? All right, can you arrange that?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. We're in recess.
All right, so short recess. And of course the drilling's back as soon as they're doing a recess. And now I can only hear drilling. Okay, there are some tweets from Boom. Let me pull up what he said. Oh. How bad is that if I unmute this while they're doing that drilling? Is it really bad? I have my filter thing on my microphone, but okay, so the text were between the first set were between Melly and Melly's phone and what they call him, Gino, and then the second ones were between Melly and Q Shine, I guess is what he goes by. Yeah, actually, you know what, Lando 57, you were right. That was a good long clip of testament. Round of applause that we made it more than 5 to 7 minutes before we had a recess. I'm actually really impressed by that. That's look, that's progress. All right, so the now, okay, so first let's do, because somebody asked about Boom's tweets. So this is what Boom has tweeted so far. A few minutes ago, he said that Melly released his second EP, We All Shine, in January of 2019, which features Kanye West and Fredo Bang. Now, on that album cover, he has on the back of his shirt, it says, "You shine, I shine, we all shine." So that is directly from some of the stuff they read about the G. Are you trying to get down here? That's directly from some of the stuff they read about the G Shine stuff. So also, of course, we know January 2019 when he released this is just a few months after the murders. He did the one song with Kanye West, and then it said, this album, of course, also featured Fredo Bang. And we know that he was at Fredo Bang's house after the murders happened. And that's who he sent the pin location to twice to come pick him up. And he went there with his manager and all that stuff. Let's see what else Boom said. He said the prosecution asked Detective Danny Polo to read a text message. And he said, you beloved was set. I think it's supposed to say, beloved, what set is Young Thug pushing now? So that's a whole nother trial. Let's see. And then Boom mentioned that the YNW Melly's booking email has been officially mentioned in the text message conversation on September 2018 at 10:53 a.m. So we know that the email that he gave out as his email, the booking, whatever, this is the email that he's giving out as his own email. So welcome, Kim Newton. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Boom also tweeted, Gino said that Quando Rondo, when they were mentioning Quando Rondo, another rapper, said Boom said, Gino said Quando Rondo, quote, lame ass hated, end quote, in a text message, which assures that the earlier mention was about rapper Quando Rondo. Let's see. Gino mentioned the Piru West Coast Bloods in a text message. Detective Polo shares that West Coast Bloods and East Coast Bloods do not get along with each other. GBK was mentioned to have a connection with New York City Bloods through Gino and his boss, Stretch. Stretch is the one that they were referring to as Godfather. They have a Godfather outside of, what do they call it, behind the wall. The one behind the wall is the one locked up, and they have one out here as well, and that one is Stretch. What else? Let's see. He talked about naming the people who were in that one picture. Boom tweeted 53 minutes ago. He said Detective Danny Polo and the prosecution review a text message conversation the day after the murder of Juvie and Sack Chaser from Melly's phone. So that's what we missed. And of course, he texted about tweeted about Judge ruling that Detective Polo will be removing his mask for the remainder of his testimony. He said Quando wrote in one of the text messages between Gino and the phone that they have for Melly's phone. And he said Melly had, okay, so this is why I said the Quando Rondo thing. So Melly and Sack Chaser got into a fight outside of the recording studio with outside of Atlantic Records, not recording studio, I guess, outside of Atlantic Records with NBA Youngboy and Quando Rondo in 2018. So before all of this happened. And so he tweeted about that, and he said Sack Chaser spoke on the altercation on Instagram Live in August, and Boom tweeted that Instagram Live where Sack Chaser's talking about it, if y'all want to see it. Let's see. And then he talks about the Cash App thing. Melly's attorney wants to revisit the request for Detective Polo to remove his mask and shows a photo of Polo's wife, her Cash App account, with a profile photo of the family. And then Polo requests to call his wife when Judge Murphy III asked to step down. So that's what we've missed with tweets so far. Okay, so let's go to what they were actually talking about in the tweets. All right, so I was making notes while we were listening. So if I missed some of your comments while they're talking about like this type of stuff, it's because I'm making notes, because I know that y'all are going to ask me on a break what they're talking about. So I make notes so that I can make sure that I can explain this. So they're going over the text first with, I'm not going to go back over the Quando thing because we just mentioned that with them. There was an altercation with Quando and NBA Youngboy or whatever outside of Atlantic Records. So they mentioned that. But he said, so in the first set of texts that were going between Gino, I can't remember Gino for some reason. It keeps slipping my mind. So between Gino and Melly, there was a bunch of stuff about the. So they mentioned the. He said, Gino said that Quando denied saying anything about you, Q, or the hood. So it looks like Gino, after their altercation thing or whatever, I guess Gino or whoever is involved with them talked to Quando Rondo, and Quando Rondo denied saying anything about Melly or the hood. Melly said that he ain't worried about it. And Gino said he's going to get his, mark my words, talking about Quando Rondo. And then Gino said that he's on the line with the Godfather and that he wants to sit down with him and Jay Green. Now, if you remember, Jay Green is one of the associates. Actually, I don't know if he's in here now. We had his manager has been in here a good bit and watched the trial with us. I don't know if he's in here right now, but Jay Green's manager and friend has been in here with us. So anyway, he said that he's on the line with the Godfather, and he said he wanted to sit down with him and Jay, between Gino, the Godfather, Melly, and Jay Green. And then the texts start about how he's not communicating. They call the Godfather on the outside Stretch. I don't know the one behind the wall or whatever they're saying. I don't know which name he is, but I'm pretty sure that they said the one that Stretch is the one that's outside the wall. So Gino's telling Melly that he has to communicate. So this seems to be the theme that's starting between both of the conversations, that they're talking to Melly about how, and that was one of the things that we saw in the rules when they were going over the rules, that you have to have communication and you have to like let them know what's going on. And oh God, it sounds like a marriage. And who would want to have to be in contact with anybody that, anyway, whatever, that's their rules. That's what they want them to do. And Melly is apparently not doing a very good job at it. So this is where the communications start about, or the text start about how his communication is not what it's supposed to be. So on October 8th, Gino tells Melly that he has to communicate. He said that he wasn't checking in with them nearly enough. And if it's too much and he can't follow rules as required, then he can just pick a different set and go do something else, but he won't get all of the same perks and all of that stuff because the whatever set that they're in, he's saying is the most respected. So he's saying this is the most respected set that you're joining, but if you're going to be with us, then you have to communicate. So that's when October 8th is the first time Gino mentions that I guess Melly's slacking in his communication. I think we're back. And then
Quiet, please. You're entering.
And then in the second group of text between him and Q-Shine, it was kind of the same thing, saying that he's not communicating, he's not keeping up with everything as much as he's supposed to. They're kind of getting frustrated with him. He said some stuff about how, if they bring somebody in, he's seen people get killed for, bringing people in that they shouldn't have and that type of thing.
Let the record once again reflect.
They're wanting him to follow the rules.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brook, the state is still on their direct examination of the witness. Counsel, if you would, please continue.
Okay, so we left off and we've gone to now page 83. On November 4th of 2018, 1:50 a.m. The focus button, make it a little easier. What does this particular message say?
Good show, Herc. You had me be safe on the road, on that road to full South Florida. Or sorry, South Florida, so sorry. Shine love.
Okay. Continuing on, there's a message on November 8th, again, still on page 83 for defense counsel. That is at 12:58 p.m. If we could read that one, please.
Moreless east side banning blood. I be that true and living blank. Standed and grounded with devotion, overstanding and loyalty for cause of Ola. Repping that Shine family, cause real riders don't switch. Therefore, it's platinum, gold, gold, platinum, 001, G's up. Even when my mind, body, and soul departs, forever expanding with mind, height line, black.
Okay. So continuing on to page 84. There's a discussion about add me back. Do you know what that refers to?
In this context, I think he's probably talking about social media.
Okay. Continuing on to November 18th of 2018. Can you read this text message and then translate it?
Why this N-word goon going around telling the homies you want a plate because you name up under Gino? I'm a Peter roll that fool on the hood.
And if you could explain what this means.
So goon was I believe we talked about it early on. Jamell Demons was being recruited by two different G-Shine sets, two different lineups, whips, whatever you want to call it. One of them was under Goon, and that's the one that Jay Green belongs to. The other set was the one being run by Gino and Herc, all the way up to the Godfather stretch. When Mr. Demons, or I apologize, when the 9807 phone number decided to go with Gino, Herc, and Stretch, it caused issues with Goon because that second lineup, that second G-Shine set was not chosen, and that caused issues because they wanted to recruit him first.
Okay, so what is the Peter role, that fool?
It's just slang. He's just saying he's basically like run through him, beat him up, hurt him, whatever he wants. Could mean anything at that point.
Okay, so on November 19th of 2018 on page 85, the message that's sent from the 1322 Herc phone number. Yes, what does that one say?
Yo, I sent you a beat. Tell me what you think about it. I was hoping you can put a hook on if you like that one instead. If you like that one instead, let me know what you think.
Can you explain what a beat is?
Soundtrack to a song, the music in the background, no audio, no vocals, just the beat, the music.
Okay, and what is a hook?
A hook would be when a rapper or any musician just jumps on a song and does a short verse on the song. So the main artist creates takes a beat, creates a song, and then they'll pay someone for a hook or for a verse in a song. It's very popular in the rap community. Everyone does it.
So, talking about now on page 86, November 21st, 2018. What message is that sent to the 9807 number?
This one right here.
The top one, yes.
Yeah. You got 2 shows Saturday, bro? Question.
Okay.
Yo, hit me up. Oh, sorry, I thought you wanted to
Sorry,
mention.
yes, please.
Yo, hit me up, Shine Set, bro. I gotta ask you something.
Okay, and then continuing on to the 24th.
I'm gonna ball you when I get there. Again, he's not talking about a ball. He's just replacing the C and call.
Okay. Now the 9807 number on November 24th of 2018 sends some text messages. If you could read the one in the middle right there.
Can I see the one above it?
Sure.
Okay. So then, this one's already related to the top here. Drums and 22 clips, 2, and 33 clips.
And what are those?
Drums would be referring to drum magazines for firearms. A drum magazine is a magazine, if you don't know what a magazine is. A gun has, sometimes people call it clips. A clip is not a magazine, but that's what a lot of people call it. It's where the bullets are contained within the gun. You put the bullets into the magazine and then stick that in your gun. So they come in regular size magazines for like a gun comes with a standard magazine, like a Glock, most Glocks in the 17 round magazine or 15 round magazine, depending on the size of the bullet. Here he's requesting drums and 22 clips. So a drum mag is usually 50 rounds. 22 clip would be something that holds at least 22 rounds, and a 33 clip would be something that holds at least 33 rounds.
Okay, then on November 24th, the response from Perk is DL. What did you translate that to again?
I hear you.
Okay.
Just kind of means like, okay,
Okay. Continuing on in terms of the items that are discussed here, if you could just read them out. I'll start at the top.
looks like a wish list to me, or an order.
Okay.
2 9mm 30 clips. So again, clips being the magazines. He's asking for a 30 round magazine. 1 9mm 22 magazine clip. 2 clear 40 cal drums. So 2 drums, 2 drum magazines, the ones that are round that hold at least 50 rounds. Sometimes they make them that hold 100 or 150 rounds. And he wants it chambered, or the 9807 number wants it chambered in 40 caliber.
Okay.
And then 1 clear 9mm drum, same thing. A drum magazine for 9mm round caliber rounds, and the clear kind. So some of these drum mags are black, which is you can't see through them. Some of them for showmanship or just because they look cooler, get it clear, and then you can see all the bullets inside. It's just a preference thing, I guess.
Okay. And technical, you don't know if these were used for a video shoot or anything like that. You can't give any comment on that.
No, it just looks like a list of
Okay.
magazines that they're requesting for those 2 types of calibers, 9s and 40s.
Okay. And then the list continues on November 24th at 3:10 p.m.
So this does refer to actual bullets. Get some hollows too, misspelled hollows. Hollows are hollow point bullets, as opposed to like ball round, which is just like what we would use for target practice. A hollow point bullet has rivets in it, and when it makes impact, it kind of disintegrates and it becomes many projectiles, kind of just spreads apart.
Okay.
Spreads apart, so it's kind of looks like that, and then it'll
Moving on to
disintegrate.
page 89. What is shown in the message from Herc on November 24th of 2018?
Herc states, I got a customized Glock 17 for sale if you wanted to. A Glock 17 is a model of a Glock handgun. It's chambered in 9mm.
And then there are pictures that are shown of that same.
Yes.
Okay, I want to go forward now on November 28th, 2018 at page 93. The first 2 messages there, if you could read those.
Bedded up, shine right. Sorry. Bedded up, shine right, shine bright, shine love, bro. They capitalize the B for blood, capitalize the O for Ola, which is, according to the Bible, Swahili for blood, but I don't think it really is. I tried looking it up.
Okay. So then on the next message,
Okay. They had drilling again. I had to mute for a minute. I knew this was coming. Trying to hear if I can hear anything. What is sidebar count? Oh, here. She's got it. Take a shot, do a squat. We are on sidebar number 3. Marie Moss is like on it, doggone it. She keeps up with all of them for us.
Okay, so continuing on this page 93, the next message at 10:03 p.m. from the 1322 HERC number to the 9807 number.
Says, boy, I see your ugly ass on TV representing with the capital R.
Okay. So I want to move up now to still on page 93, December 5th, 2018. And if you could read that message, please, and publish for the jury.
Damn, what's up, blood? We beefing or something? I know you view me barking at you. I just be trying to check up on you. That's one of the 31 rules. And the N-word really care about you, bro. Because that fake rockin', we don't roll like that, bro. Not in this 5-dub. We straight up with each other, and because we gonna die about this GSF, G-Shine family. Shit you heard, just let me know what's up.
And if you could translate that, please.
I'll do it in portions.
Okay.
We don't get lost. So, first part, he's asking him what's going on, blood. So he's referring to him as blood, acknowledging him as one of his own. He's asking if they're fighting, are they beefing, what's going on. So he must have not been getting responses or not be getting communicated with, not following rules. He says, I know you see me barking at you, so he can see that the messages are being viewed, and he's just checking up on him, so he's not getting responses. And that's one of 31 rules, references back to 31 rules in the Bible. That's both the UBN Bible and the G-Shine Bible. Then he says, he follows it up by saying, we really care about you. And right here, again, the use of the CK, Crip Killer, right? So it's just nothing specific. He's not really dissing a Crip or anything. It's just common way of Bloods to type. And that fake rocking, so he's saying, if you're fake rocking, we don't roll like that. Fake rocking would be the same thing as false flagging or set tripping. It's just basically saying, if you are going to say you're one of us, you're really going to be one of us. You can't just pretend. You have to follow the rules. He said, we don't roll that way. We're straight up with each other, and we're going to die about this G-Shine family. So this is not just a club and organization. This isn't the Boy Scouts. This is an organization that they're willing to die about. He's saying, I'm just saying this so you hear me and so you know what's up.
Okay. In terms of the response about the communication, in terms of that, I'm going to go to the 9807 number, responds as what?
Bro, why really just be beefing? Looks like a typo there.
Okay. And then the response from 1322 HERC.
Of course, we're not beefing, bro, but you gotta do better on your communication with your 5-dub. That's part of getting your state together. So you tell them, there's no beef, there's no problem, but you need to communicate better with us. And this is a common theme. He needs to communicate better with his G-Shine members. And he mentions it in there.
Okay. And the response from the 9807 number?
Herc, and the N-word be dead busy. It's just referring to him as a Herc. He's acknowledging he's G-Shine, and he's saying that he's just been too busy to communicate back.
Mm-hmm.
Flight to flight, don't even see my mama text on God. So he's saying that he's so busy he can't even text his mother.
Okay. And then to continue on page 94 still, the response from HERC to that busy text.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, sorry.
It says, I smell that, bro. I understand you. I feel you. Same thing. I smell that, bro. But this G-Shun family shit is, he uses double R's, real right. We talked about that. Right? So that means we're not a fake, unsanctioned set. Not a fake set. I won't call them fake. They're not. He's saying we're a real set. We're aligned with a national sanctioned set. So they're real right mob, regardless of mob being members of blood. Regardless of how busy we all get, we always got to make sure we find time to check up on the bros. Even trouble. Do it, bro. And he's a big artist like you. It's nothing personal, and we're not saying we want all your time. Just text and let us know you good. That's all, bro. You say we your brothers, but you be showing us different, and we really gotta be real. Love for you, Herc, 110%.
So then moving on again to the digital version on December 7th of 2018. What is the text that accompanies this video?
It's I believe this was a screen recording of a conversation between Goon and Jamell Demons, if I remember this video correctly.
So to go to.
Goon being the same subject that was Curry, Mr. Demons into the other set.
Hey. Yeah. Hey, who you want with?
Your Honor, objection.
Excuse me, come sidebar, please.
So this is about to get interesting. Oh God, what is happening? Objection, sidebar. Yeah, as soon as they showed that this was going to be a video, I was like, I see a recess in our future. Yeah, that contact name. So this is between.
The name of the contact on this. What does it read as?
You want me to say it now?
Yes, please.
So, Melly's bitch ass with I think it says smiling, laughing face. With the
Hey. Yeah. Hey, who you want with? Who you want with? I want Gino, man. You want who? Gino. I'm not like Yeah, sounds good. Now listen, send him my number. Yeah, my big homie wanna holler and send him my number. It ain't no talking, but you trying to meet this show so I can beat your ass, Jit. You ain't send me no address yet.
Excuse me,
Alright, send him over.
thank you, come side, what's the objection?
another sidebar. So I heard Melly say he rolls with Gino, which were the first set of texts that we heard. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. It's really hard to understand. I heard him say he rolls with Gino. It's hard to hear. We'll go back and listen to it. But I'm sure they'll say what it is, unless whatever objection they're making is sustained. Take a shot, do a squat. What is this, number 4? Y'all are making me laugh.
So, Detective, in terms of the voices that you hear on this, during the course of this investigation, did you have the opportunity to become familiar with the defendant, Jamell Dennis' voice?
Yes.
And if you could describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury approximately how many hours of video and audio that you watched of the defendant over the course of this investigation?
Oh, they're saying that they don't know that's Melly's voice. That's what the objection was, I bet.
I listened to almost every single one of his songs, music videos. I watched interviews he did, listened to jail calls, and the difficult part in the jail calls was
Objection.
So,
Ask for curative instruction.
Why don't you come sideboard?
Oh. Take a shot, do a squat. We have another sidebar. Yeah, the fact that she's asking now, which is, it's not surprising that they're saying that they can't prove that this is his voice. Him being saved in there as Melly, or, well, as what he was saved in there as, labeling him as Melly, but as also something else. She's asking now, how many hours did you listen to of different calls and stuff, to say, to try to show that he would be able to recognize this as Melly's voice. So we'll see what they say. You can save anyone's phone number as that and make a video. Yes, which is why they are now going to go back and forth about if they recognize that as his voice. I mean, as far as this call, they would be able to verify that with call records. So that's not, But, you know, these are call records for a phone that they say they don't know if it was his. So, oh, goodness gracious. Take a shot, do a squat. I 100% absolutely 100% agree with you that they should have sidebarred that his wife's Cash App issue. I 100% agree they should have sidebarred that.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was an objection. I sustained the objection. It had to do with the discussion of where the calls emanated from. I sustained that objection. I'm going to ask counsel to rephrase your question.
In terms of Detective Pullo, were you given phone calls to review in which the defendant was identified as a participant?
Yeah.
And in terms of the number of hours of those calls that you listened to?
Over 30 hours, maybe.
Okay. With regards to your familiarity with the defendant's voice, are you able to say who is on the phone that is being recorded?
Well, the unknown subject holding the phone, no. The person on the other line of that iPhone looks correct iPhone. That sounds like Mr. Dennis.
Okay. So you're on with that, I'm going to go ahead and publish again what's been already in evidence as part of State 70, and this is image.
Objection calls for hearsay.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Objection overruled. Proceed.
And it's image _0747.MOB for the record.
Hey. Yeah. Hey, who you want with? Who you want with? I want Gino, man. You want with who? Gino. I'm not like going. Yeah. Sounds good. Now listen. Send him my number. Yeah, my big homie wanna holler and send him my number. Ain't no talking, but you trying to meet this show so I can beat your ass, Jit? You ain't send me no address yet. Alright, send them over.
Okay, so going back now to the printed document, we're going to go to page 97 for defense counsel. Detective, were you able to determine in what state the individual with the 404 area code was from?
The one we identified from 98074.
Yes.
That was Georgia.
That was
Georgia.
Okay. And Detective, going to page 97, the 12/20/2018, 2:32 a.m. from the 1322 phone number that begins with 404. What does that message say?
It says we back in the meeting waiting on you.
Okay, and then continuing on to the next message.
Hey Melvin, how long you gonna be in Atlanta?
And where is Atlanta located?
Georgia.
Moving on to the bottom of page 97. You could publish that last message on there.
I got somebody that wanna book you for a show. Hurt bus at me.
Okay. Going on to, now page 102 for defense counsel. The individual identified as Goon, the phone number ending in 9277. You reviewed these messages as well?
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned that there was 2 sets that were trying to recruit the defendant.
Yes. From the messages on the phone, it was clear that two different G-Shine sets were trying to recruit Mr. Dennis.
And is Goon in the same set or lineup as Gino, Stretch, and the Herc messages we just went through?
Not based off the context from all the messages I read.
Okay. And in terms of the first message from the 813-451-9277 phone number, what is Goon saying? And that's the name of the contact that's given.
Yeah, Goon was again identified as Isaiah Eberhardt. He was identified as a documented G-Shine gang member. He says, "Yo, twin, you don't have any of the recent Englewood being the knowledge or books of knowledge, the Bibles. I am trying to find out how much you need."
Okay. And the response from the 9807 phone number is?
Yeah, I had some 5. He's referring to the knowledge.
Okay. And then the response from Goon.
Out of date shit, or you up and bopping? And if you recall, in 2016, I mentioned in 2016, the G-Shine Bible, G-Shine Bylaw, or the Book of Knowledge was rewritten. We called it God Knows Best, the Rebirth.
Okay. And if you could go through now, September 2nd, 2018, the next message that's on there, and read it and then translate it.
Yo, twin, just letting you know, bro, I poured the big fool a drink on what's shaking with you, and that you're gonna line up with us just so he was in tune with the play, and everything is everything, beloved. He told me to blowfish you his 9, so you got it for whatever reason. He is well known in death row. If an N-word don't know my handle, they definitely gonna know his, you feel me? And N-words know him on the music shit too. He a producer. He did records for Young Thug, French Montana, Jewel Santana, a bunch of others.
Sorry.
Bunch of other people. So if you ever need that, he get busy with the beats too. I need your email where you want me to blowfish you some updated Inglewood. I'll break it down piece by piece. Yo, twin, again, that's G-Shine slang, just like bro or dude. Just letting you know that I poured the big fool a drink. The big fool, that would be their godfather, their boss, right? It's just slang. We poured him a drink on what's shaking. I told him, basically, he informed him of what's happening with the 9807 number. And that he tells the big fool that the 9807 number is going to line up. So he's going to join their set. So that way he was in tune with the play, right? So that he knows everything is everything. And the 9807 number was choosing them as the lineup that he wanted to be a part of. So he states, the big fool, so the boss, told me to blowfish you his 9. Blowfish just means send him your, send, like to send, right? The act of sending. To send him his 9 digits, his phone number. So send you his 9 digits so you have it for whatever reason you might need it. He says he's well known on death row, and he explains to him, basically the synopsis right here, he just explains to him that he's in the music industry and he knows a lot of guys like Young Thug, who's a blood, French Montana, well, not sure of his affiliations, Jewel Santana, who is a blood, and a bunch of other people. But these are all rappers. So he's trying to sell his set, his G-Shine set, as a good set to be a part of because their boss is in the music industry and already knows a couple of their well-known rappers who have no affiliate with Blood. It says, I need your email so I can send you the updated Inglewood. The Inglewood being the knowledge, books of knowledge, the Bibles.
Okay, so continuing on, the response from the 9807 number is?
That twin, feed me. Feed me means send me the knowledge he has to learn.
Okay. Then the response from the 9277 Goon number?
Says I got you.
Okay. The 9807 response.
What's his 9, what's his phone number?
And then is the phone number sent as the next message?
631-260-5797.
Okay. Going to the September 2nd on page 104, September 2nd of 2018, 2:21 PM, this particular message. If you could publish that one.
So on September 2nd at 2:21, this message is sent from Boone. You're walking with me now, so I gotta make sure you on your shit because you're a reflection of me and him. So he's telling him, because you are under me and I'm under him, the Godfather, the big fool, then you need to make sure that you're on point, you know what you're doing, you know your stuff, because you're a reflection of us. And from the previous conversations, if one person messes up underneath you and you're the one that brought him home, the repercussions might affect the guys above that brought him in.
So you said bringing someone home. What does that mean?
Bringing someone home is it's gang terminology. Sorry for that. It's basically just bringing them into the gang. I would say I brought them home. And that's just very common slang for them to use.
Okay. So one of the responses from the 9807 number on September 2nd, 2018, what does that say?
Lingo brazy. So he's saying that the lingo, the language that they're using is crazy.
Okay. And does the 9807 number provide an email to receive the knowledge of?
Yes, the same YNW Melly booking at gmail.com from the previous threads.
Okay, and some of the other responses he uses on September 7th, 2018, 2:54 PM, page 105, council.
The 9807 number messages blood.
Okay. The other email that is provided from the individual known as Boone, what is that?
Elevation mp2 at gmail.com.
And then the next message on September 7th of 2018.
Sent the last memo, just wanted to make sure you get it.
And the response from the 9807 number.
Gonna view it now, so he's gonna view it now.
And then from 9277 in response to that.
Same thing as before when they write DL, down low, I hear you.
Okay. Next message from the 9807.
Got it, 5. That's a common for them to call each other other than twin or Herc or blood. And they call each other 5, like what's up 5? You know, it's not normal for other people to do it, but that's how they communicate with each other.
And so with regards to the messages here now on page 107, on September 7th, 2018, talking about the oath again.
Right, so it says copy, then I'll send you, I'll blowfish you some other shit. You got the oath and all that?
Okay,
And then
the question was asked.
9807 responds about the snakes. And that's in reference to that one document we went over where they talked about restructuring and clearing the snakes out of the garden because of informants and stuff like that.
Okay, so then the response to the question about the snakes is what?
Not twin, the shine oath, the oath to be able to say you herc. So he says, he's not talking about the memorandum that was sent out to inform people of the changes within the organization. He's saying, do you have the oath that we've read a couple times already? If you know that oath, that's how they know that you are G-Shine.
Okay. And then talking about the Shine birthday and things like that.
Yeah, he tells them that's the main things you're supposed to know are the Shine birthday, the founders, who started the hoods. So he's prepping him for future interviews and interactions he's going to have with higher ups because they're going to, they might not realize they're getting quizzed, but they are getting quizzed.
Okay, and then what does 9807 respond to that?
I ain't got none of that, but
So going on to page 108. What does it say on this first message from the individual identified as Goon?
It said, damn N-words had you out here, all types of lost. The history of the hood, important to know. I'm gonna send it to make sure you get right on that shit, blood. So he's explaining that, basically saying you've been claiming blood and you don't know any of the knowledge. You need to know this, it's important.
Okay, and so the response from the 9807?
Says, I know who the founder is, blood. I'm saying you ain't sent it. And then he writes Julius B. Sonny, which is incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect answer to who the founder is. I'm saying you ain't send it. This is all I got.
And so then in response,
Oh no, I only sent the memo. I'm trying to see what else I gotta send.
and the picture on that, is that the same photo that was previously published in State 68?
Yes, I believe that's the document, same document.
Okay. Moving on to page 109. At the top,
So,
and this, you referred to the Julius B. Sonny as being an incorrect answer.
right, so as I stated, the Julius B. Sonny is wrong. GKB, Gangster Killer Bloods, right? The initialism for it is GKB. They go also as G-Shine, it's one of their names. And at one point, early on in their history, they also called themselves Julius B. Sonny. Many of the other blood gangs do the same thing, like the 9 Trade Gangster Bloods call themselves the Billy Badass Bloods, right? So this is just another one. And it appears that the 9807 number was confused as to this because Julius B. Sonny sounds like a person's name.
Okay. Talking about the date that GKB started next in that message.
Yeah.
Based on the training experience and the information that has been provided to you in this specific field, is that an accurate date for the start of GKB?
Yes,
And what date is that?
February 16, 1996.
Okay. Going out to the bottom of page 109, can you read the last message here and explain what that is?
That's gonna be ran a 31. So 31 is in reference to the original 31 rules or laws. And running a 31 in reference to the UBN or to would be, if you remember when we talked about the different ways to get into a gang, being blessed in, being beat in, putting in work, running a 31 would be in reference to getting beat in. So some people are blessed in and they might not earn the same respect as if they weren't beat in because they didn't actually have to shed blood and fight for their position in the gang. So he's asking him, did you get beat in?
Okay. And in response to some of the other questions at the top of page 110, you mentioned the memo and the restart or rebirth.
Right.
Is that date, November 16th, 2006, consistent with the gang knowledge that has been intercepted by law enforcement?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the response from the 9277 Goon number.
So I'll read it. Hello, making sure blood and N-words nowadays be getting passes and bros don't respect that shit. If you ran it, then that's valid. So this goes towards what I just stated, where some bloods are brought into the game just for having money or for whatever reason. And it's looked down upon because most bloods had to get beat in to get in. And he was just making sure.
Okay.
He's letting you know.
And so then going on to, if you could just summarize the September 7th, 2018, as to what that, the message at the top, what that one meant?
So it's gotta respect that. Now, if you want to let your nuts hang in front of the bros and run it again, then you can. But if you did it, then it ain't mandatory. So he's saying, he's using slang, a lot of slang, right? So let your nuts hang. Do you want to show them that you have you have the bravado to be, not say what they're trying to say. Do you have the courage to redo it in front of all your bros, in front of the homies, right? If you do it again, you can, but it's not mandatory. You don't have to run it again. You've already ran a 31, but you could do it and show everyone that you're tough.
Okay. So going on to the page 111 at the top, talking about the big fool again. Can you read that and publish that message for the jury?
The big fool be out here next month too. If you're trying to link with him and shit, he sent me the info yesterday. So we're telling him the boss is gonna be in town, and if the 9807 number wants to meet with him, so let him know, so he can set it up.
Okay, going on to sending on September 9th, 2018, more messages from Goon. What did they say?
So sent you the updated lingo books. Did you get that?
And the response from the 9807 phone?
All right, I'm finna look now, Herc. I'm in the A right now.
Okay. Then responding back, going to the September 10th at 12:50.
Yo twin, sorry.
Please, if you could publish that one.
Yo twin, for the show on the 29th, how we gonna link you? You gonna make her perform and leave? Like, should I snatch a section with the bros or what?
Okay. And then response to that, what is the response from the 9807 number?
I'm a Mac with you, so he's saying he's gonna hang out with them.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in Jacksonville this weekend.
And DOA, what does that stand for?
Bet on arrival.
At the end of that page of 113, if you could publish that last message and then translate it.
I was just 2 and 2 with her. I was just talking to him.
September 11th on page 114. Just ran into, and if you could just publish that message there.
9807 number sends this text message. Just ran into Bouban Herc.
Okay.
Bouban's a blood out of Broward County.
And is Pompano a city in Broward County?
It is.
Going on to September 11th, 2018, 9:52 p.m., page 115. What does the 9807 number say about that individual?
He says he's 9 Trey. He told to ask about him. 9 Trey being 9 Trey Gangster Bloods. It's another blood set within the UPN.
Okay. And then continuing on, again on page 115, September 13th, 2018. The last message here, what does that one say?
Follow my IG, blood.
What's an IG?
Instagram.
Okay, the response from 9807.
Send it, blood.
And again, 9807 says what?
I'll shout you out.
So September 13th of 2018, 4:17 p.m., a Instagram account is sent.
Yes, Vulture Gang _ music group.
Okay. So going on to page 117 at the bottom. If you could publish that message for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
It says, hell yeah. Shit, let me know you know the Hercs on stage.
Okay. Continuing on to September 13th, 2018, page 118.
Say less, twin. I'm gonna send you some more shit today.
And continuing on September 16th of 2018, this message right here.
Linked with Herc last night. Them boys the truth.
Going on to page 122, September 26th of 2018. What does the goon number say to the 9807 number?
Read it or synopsis.
Just if you could read it. And
Read it. Damn fool, you ain't even tell me you was in the O last night.
Okay.
Referring to Orlando, Florida.
And then just the discussion continues on September 28th.
Yo, bro. So I'm trying to figure out if I should grab a section for tomorrow, or if you got one, and we, with you, and I just grab the bottles. That way we gonna sip. Sorry. I just don't want to buy a section for nothing. I did that before and spent no time in my section. It was a waste.
Okay. And based on your training experience, do you know what they're referring to?
Getting a section, like a VIP section at an event.
Okay.
He wants to know if he should get a section for himself, or if the 9807 number is just gonna allow them to be in his section.
Okay. So then on September 29th, there's a discussion about people coming from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just kind of summarize that message on page 123 at 1:01 p.m.
He's just asking. He's saying that saying he has people coming in from Georgia. He wants to make sure that they're going to be able to get in. They're going to be able to hang out because he doesn't want them to make the drive for no reason.
Okay.
What page was that?
123. Okay. So going forward to October 25th of 2018, 10:25, 1:09 p.m. If you could publish that message to ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yo, bro, what you got going on? Edward's banging my line, talking about you, talking wild on IG and FI, I think, and Facebook, but FI ain't real right. What you talking about?
That was page 127 for defense counsel. Going on to page 128 at the top. The message from Goon to the 9807 number, what does it read?
You straight? I just heard what happened last night.
Okay. And again, the same message or the video that we watched previously?
Right.
Okay. Going on to the fifth chat with an individual that's identified as Papa.
Mm-hmm.
That phone number. If you could read the first message.
Hey, Slime, people hitting me up talking about, you said some about putting an N-word on a Winnie the Pooh shirt, saying you had them did something to do with it. I told they ass, stop calling me about that shit. It ain't my business. I don't know shit about nothing. I don't know, man. But congratulations on XXL, little one. I'm proud of you.
The term slime.
So go ahead.
Have you explained that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
The term slime is something East Coast bloods say. West Coast bloods won't say slime. It started off with YSL, the record label, Young Thug. It's kind of That's where it came from.
And so at the bottom of page 129, if you could read the response from 9807.
I gave an example sign.
And August 23rd, 2018, the 9807 number, what does it say to the BAPA contact?
Appreciate that slime. I got a new phone.
The response at the top of page 131.
You got the same number?
And so to refer back now to page 130. The message at 1:25 p.m.
I got in a fight with NBA Youngboy and all slime. The internet don't know cause I don't rock like that.
And then continuing on that response on 1:26 p.m. on page 131.
In LA, I popped his ass about 4 times, laughed my ass off, but they jumped. And they was at least 9 deep. And yeah. And yeah, my number the same. I just had to buy a new phone.
Continuing on, there's a image down here at the bottom. And were you able to view those images?
I did a while back.
In terms of the page 134 on this particular set of messages, on 8/31/2018, the BAPA number sends a message. If you could read that.
You bark with him? So did you talk to him?
Okay, is that its same meaning or symbolism that you had talked about earlier about the barking and the dogs?
Right. So it would be something significant to someone that falls into the UPN.
Okay, so then going on to the September 1st, 2018, 10:08 a.m., the bottom message.
Rise up, twin. What's poppin', Herc? Those are standard G-Shine greetings that are listed in multiple Bibles, not just the one we got from the email.
Okay, the response from the 9807 is what on September 7th?
Herc.
Okay. And again, the Julius B. Sunny.
Yeah, this guy's wrong too, but it says Julius B. Sunny's the founder of Shine.
Okay. And so then BAPA asks in the top of page 135, what is the first question that he asks?
What else do you need to know?
What does the 9807 number ask for?
For G-Shine's birthday. Shine's birthday.
Okay. Are these the same messages that were then sent to Goon, basically copy and pasted?
I have to go back and see, but it looks like it basically, February 16, 1996, the same date.
Okay. And so the last message on September 7, 2018 on here from BAPA on this page, what does it say?
The homies coming to the show, or coming to the show, and the big fool from up top.
Okay. And the response?
Bet.
Then here, there's a discussion on September 9th of 2018. Who are they talking about at 252? Page 136.
252?
Yes.
You talked to Goon?
So there's discussion about losing someone at 9:15, 2018 on page 138. What does 9807 ask?
Who did we lose? Who we lost?
Okay, and the response?
Bloody J from Fort Pierce.
On the page 139 at the top, the 9807 number says what?
Got a show in Daytona.
Okay. Going now to October 26th of 2018 at 7:47 a.m. What does the individual named as Bapa say?
Damn kid, I heard what happened. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm here if you need me.
And the next message,
Man, I just snapped on Sack Chaser.
and then the clarification.
I mean YG.
And the last one on this page, 140, the message says from Bapa to the individual with the 9807 phone number.
Love you, kid.
So Detective, you have in front of you a, I believe, 50-page document. Did you have the opportunity to review that prior to coming into court?
Can I see the sidebar for a second?
Yes, sir.
Sidebar, sidebar. Take a shot, do a squat. It's another sidebar. But you know what? At least we're getting through some of this. At least we're getting through some of it. I have no idea, Brenda. It depends on how long it takes. I assume the
Our lunch and recess now. Do not discuss the case. Don't form any opinion about the case. Don't allow anyone to discuss the case in your presence. Certainly no research. Just leave your notepads on the chair. We'll see you back here at about an hour and 15 minutes, 1:45. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Let the order reflect the jury step down. Counsel remain while the defendant. Anything to discuss?
No, Your Honor.
Nope. All right. See you back at 1:45. Thank you. Have a nice lunch.
Thank you.
All right, so back at 1:45. All right, so I'm not really there's so much going on. Okay, so the text and everything, I am going to go through those. We'll start back up. I want to take a break. I need to take Lucy out, and I have got to, since we have an hour and 15 minutes, I have got to try to run an errand real quick. And but I will try to get like a little recap of the stuff that we did so that we can go over it when we start. We'll start, if they go back at 1:15, we'll start about 1 o'clock, and I'll organize some of my notes and stuff. So we can kind of organize it and make sense of it. A lot of it is just basically showing, I think they have like 5 different people that they have conversations with of his that they're planning on going through. So we have more that we're going to be seeing. This is not the end of that. The ones that they've given us, I made notes of some of the stuff and some of the dates. So I want to, during lunch break, when I finish, after I take Lucy out and stuff and do my quick errand, I'm going to kind of put them all together and see if we can get like a timeline going of what was being said to who at what times. It seems like there were different sets that were recruiting him. He was talking to multiple members that were trying to recruit him. And everybody seemed like they were frustrated that he was not doing good with communication. And that is, of course, one of the rules. So if, yes, they said 1:45. Did I say something different? They said 1:45, an hour and 15 minutes. I may have said something different because my time, it's 11:30 right now, which it's 12:30 their time, because I'm in the panhandle of Florida instead of the peninsula. So I don't know what I said. This said y'all are saying 1:45. I could have said something totally different. It's 1:45 Eastern time. So that's an hour and 15 minutes. So I'll go through some of this stuff, and we can go over that in the 15 minutes before they start. So we'll come back at 1:00 Eastern. I'm going to separate the streams. So this is like the part 1, so that we can give our mods a break since we have such a long break. We will, I'm going to end this one. We'll have a new one up about, I'll come live about 15 minutes before they start. So about 1:00 Eastern, we'll come live, but we'll have the link in the chat up before that, about 15-20 minutes before that. So, but I want to make sure we give our fantastic mods a break. And Lucy has brought me now 3 flip-flops, so she's ready to go out. We'll do that. And I'm going to jump off now so that I can have time to get all of this stuff together so that we can go over it during those 15 minutes. So, yes, flip-flop count right now is at 3, and she is down here pacing around, looking at me, ready for me to take her out. So I'm going to do that. But we will be back here. Any of the questions that you have about everything, if you want to bring those, we can try to, if we have some extra time, we can try to look up answers to that stuff too, anything that I may have missed. And you can tell that, 1:30 is 15 minutes prior. What did I say? I don't even know what I'm saying. Oh, okay. Lunch is an hour and 15 minutes. So they're coming back at 1:45, which means we will come back 15 minutes before at 1:30. I don't know what I've said, but that's the final answer. So I am going to get out of here now so I have time to get everything done, and I will see y'all back 15 minutes before they start. So at if they're starting back at 1:45, I will see y'all back here at 1:30. So we have exactly an hour. There's no telling what I said. I'm going to get another cup of coffee too while we're gone. All right, y'all. I appreciate you reporting for jury duty, and I will see you all again in about an hour. Thanks.